Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Well, it's the day after the night before. What did you do? What did I do? I bought 2 more shares of the S&P at a level that I never thought was going to happen. A level from a year ago. I bought 2 more shares of the S&P last night, where we are now, and there you go. What do you make of all of this? Well, we're going to try and bring some sense to it. It's hell of a day today. I was talking to Alex on the Extra channel before the show started, because we're running 24 hours a day on the Extra channel, doing a restream of last night's event with Donald Trump. And he was saying, you were right. You said it would pop up before and then sell off afterwards. And I said, yes, I know, but I wish I wasn't right. It's nice to be right, because it means your calculations are right and your understanding is right and all the rest of it. But who wants to be right in a situation like this? Nobody wants to be right in a situation like this. This is not good. And we hoped this morning we would wake up with measures of certainty, people knowing where we're going from here. Sadly, I don't think we do. And I'll explain why. Let me make a couple of adjustments. So let me explain why this morning. Hang on a minute. Let me just try a couple of things. Is it USA? Oh, there you go. I'll go to USA this morning. I'll leave it on there for the minute. The reality is, last night was supposed to bring some clarity into the markets, but we have to understand what we've just witnessed. And in fact, I wonder if I should just make a video from this I can put out later. In fact, I'm going to do that because I've got so much information to share. This will be a video for later. So I've got my a CNBC piece I found this morning. I want to use this. So if I just do this all in one go, then I can give my thoughts on it. We can go to you in the chat, and then we can. Now, where was the thing? Let me just find it again. I had a piece I wanted to share with you. There's where is it now? Where was the piece I wanted to share with you? There was something I wanted to share. Just bear with me a second. I've just been reading a piece I thought would be useful. Do you know what? I'm going to do it a different way. I've read it and I can kind of remember what I read, so I can use that. But let me bring this up. Okay. I don't want that. That's okay. UBS warns tariffs could pose large risks. Okay, I'm going to use this one instead. Okay. All right. I'll make a video out of this that I can put out later. I think that'll be better. All right. Okay. Do that. Okay. Okay, let's make a video from this, explaining everything. Let's have a sip of tea first of all. So this will go out later as its own video. Let me come to all of the questions first. Let me go to members only so I can cover everyone's questions. I know a lot of people are concerned and worried, and rightly so. I'm concerned. Not worried about my portfolio, but I am concerned of the overall position. Go to members only so I can answer everyone's questions. So if you've got a comment and question, you can repeat it now, and I can answer it now. Holler says, need to impeach Trump. That's your opinion. Thank you for that. All out of cash, says LEB. Why is gold dropping if all hell will break loose? Let me have a look at that. That's a good point. Yes, gold is dropping very quickly. In fact, down 2%. That's a very interesting point. It won't bring on a years-long recession. Trump is doing his this to get a 10-year bond rates down to secure do some research. Dan Ackerman, I agree. I'll talk about that in a second. Josh Monroe, good evening, all folks. Everyone has to kiss Trump's feet and remove their sanctions on the US, or else we are looking at a global recession. The dollar is weakening on the exchanges. Good morning, DJ. I bought another 10,000 in XRP per the husband's request. Good luck to you, Stacey. I bought the SNP this morning. I bought 2 shares of that. Hello, everyone. Stay strong, says Bar. Stephen says good morning. Stephen Mariano is here. Good morning to you. Hello, everyone. Sasha, good morning to you. Anointed Flowers, thank you for calling in. I hope you're well. I know you had to run. I hope obviously you're here. You survived the tornado. We missed the hail last night, thank God, because it was predicted to be egg size, which would have damaged the roof. It would have needed a new roof again for the 3rd time. Happy liquidation day. Timber, says Gavin. Let's have a look. Good luck all indeed today. Hi, Stephen. Good afternoon from the UK. Simon Rallo1, good morning to you. Derek, Trump hates America, says Derek. Lee Woodward, good morning. Dan Ackerman. We decided that since you didn't do a walk and talk after Vaz's super chat today, you had to walk 4 laps. Yeah, I didn't do the walk and talk last night because the weather was terrible outside, and where we live, we're in Tornado Alley. It's quite dangerous when it hails, and we didn't get the full size egg size. But it was dangerous to go out last night, so I didn't. Hi, Savage. How you doing? Mark, lovely to have you here. Kent Paranormal. Hey, Martin. Hope you didn't get too much golf balls falling last night. Well, we did, but it wasn't damaging to the roof. But it would have been if I'd gone out in it myself. What a bloodbath. Good morning, Lucas Aids. Hi, Jenny. Good morning to you. Steve Wally, welcome. Dev. Good morning, Dev. Welcome. Johnny O. It was great support on 2. Steve Wally, welcome to you. Donald Compton, we need to impeach anti-Americans. Mark Saxby, Ford announces employee pricing to all customers on multiple models to absorb tariffs. Sorry about last night. Was meant to be about ghosts. Hey, it was great. Don't you worry, Kent Paranormal. We loved having you on the show. It's great. Let's hope today will be full of green. Stephen Mariano and diamond hands. I wouldn't be using that phrase too much this morning. It's a YouTube phrase to encourage people to buy crypto. It's not a real financial phrase. And diamond hands, paper hands. It's all a bit of a comic book. Be careful with those today. I know that this sucks, but it's actually going to help the community in the long run. Good day all, DRM. Okay, I've caught up with all the questions. Thank you very much indeed for all our members. Wonderful to have you here. So let's do a couple of things. Here we go. So right. Let me give my thoughts. Let's make a video. I've got some details here. I hope you're all well. Everything in the world just got that bit tougher, didn't it? So let's give you my thoughts on what happened last night, and then I will put this out as a video. For those who are watching later, it can be on the Restream channel on Extra. So before we start, we've got a fantastic crowd this morning. A lot of concerned people fully understand, and I'm fully with you. I'm buying America alongside you. So we're all in it together. I totally get how you feel this morning. So you can see, look, I've lost $24,000 in a month. I mean, this is one serious situation we're in now. Exactly as predicted, though. It went up as we said it would and then sell off, and it did all of that. So before we start, I'm going to break down everything that we just had. We're going to have a live phone in. Everyone's going to have the opportunity to call in and be part of it. Everyone can have their questions answered. No one is alone. We can discuss everyone's margin, everyone's positions. The phone line, I will open it up now so you can start calling in. Here is the link. And I'm going to make a video and explain everything that I have done, how I feel about it all, and you can call in at the end of this. So live video, phone in, members only. Please tell me you are calling in first in the chat. Okay, let me pin that to the top. Okay, all right, so let's do that. You can now call in. We've got 10 spots available. When I've made my reaction video this morning, then you can call in. You can start calling in now if you want to take the spots. There are only 10 spots. If you want to be live on the show, have your say, then you can. So let me give my reaction to what we've just learned last night. Okay. The day after the night before, US tariffs all around the world. Let me give you my reaction to this, how we navigate this, how we feel about it. Get ready for another painful day on the stock market. It's going to be difficult. Many people are worried. Many people are fearful and concerned, understandably so. But let me break it down, tell you what I've been doing, look at what my predictions are, what my predictions were last night, and the latest news and the way it's being seen around the world today. Also, giving you the list, the full list, not the partial list, the full list of what we learned last night and what this tells us and what this doesn't tell us and where we go from here. This is my reaction to last night's Liberation Day. Was it Liberation Day or was it Destroy the Market Day? You can decide. So I'm making this during a live stream, unedited, as I always do. So my reactions are real. There's the real time I made it. This is the clock, by the way, we always have on the screen. So you always know the precise moment I made these videos so you understand what's going on. Please do smash the like button and share this. We've just become a big grown-up channel today, 75,000 subscribers. And later on in the live stream, I'm going to show you what 75,000 subscribers actually looks like. It blew me away last night when I looked at it. Anyway, please click subscribe as we now head to 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much indeed. We aim to be the most honest, real-life channel in the world on YouTube TV. Let's talk about last night. Well, last night, Donald Trump spoke from the Rose Garden and the world watched. The world waited with bated breath. What are we going to get from Donald Trump? Is he going to say something that can settle the markets, let everything calm down? Is he going to give us some kind of peace of mind so we all know where we go from here? Well, we waited with bated breath and we got exactly what we expected. Donald Trump started the way he always starts by talking about Joe Biden and how great he is and how bad Biden was and this and that and the other and how unfairly America has been treated. And it's actually got some weight in that argument. If you look at the numbers of the tariffs that are placed upon America, it does seem on the outset in a simplistic way that America does get taken advantage of. It is true. It is not a complete fallacy. It is actually true. The tariffs that is put on America is far higher than what's put on the United States. But you have to remember, the United States is no longer a manufacturing powerhouse like it used to be. It's a consumer. It's full of people with money, or at least half the country is. There's lots of people who don't have any money at all. There's a lot of poor people in this country who are living on the streets as if they would be from any poor country or third world country. So not everyone has money, and not every road is paved with gold. But nevertheless, last night, Trump wanted to rebalance that. And the world watched on and waited to see what would happen. Now, I said to you, the market would rally. The market did. The market went up, and I said, please don't chase this. This is going to sell off. And it did. Now, why did it? Was it because Trump then went into a big rant for about an hour of how wonderful everything is going to be? No. People that don't like Trump said that. They went, here we go, he's rambling on, and this is why the market's going down. It went down, and it continued to go down as long as he was speaking, not because he was rambling or wasn't rambling. That's your opinion. Remember, I'm completely neutral here. I'm not going to say pro or against. I'm just bringing the facts. My predictions are sadly right again, and I don't want them to be right, quite frankly, but they are. They went down, and you can go back and watch the video and check it, was because of this. This was the moment they went down, and they kept going down. It was because of this list. Now, on the event itself, Trump showed us a very, very small list. He showed us the first 2 pages, which is what I'm showing you here. Now, what you see here are the tariffs that these countries put on us, and now what we're putting on them. He calls it reciprocal tariffs, like for like. However, bad use of language, nothing reciprocal about it. Reciprocal means like for like. However, you have to see how he calculated these things. And I've been talking to analysis on my X and my Instagram and through my private communications, and analysts all unanimously disagree. The way it was calculated doesn't actually make any sense. It gets the populist vote, it makes it dramatic, it grabs headlines, makes it theatrical. But, however, these numbers don't really make sense because there's a lot of things that aren't actually taken into account. And this was put together, in their words, not mine, by analysts who are not political at all, by someone who has no idea how to add up. We can argue that, discuss that all day long. That's not the point of this. This is the full list I'm sharing with you here. You can pause this at any time if you want to see. Now, there's nothing reciprocal about this. Reciprocal would be like for like. There's no likes for likes here. Now, what you will see, a lot of small countries that don't do a great deal of business with the United States have got the statutory 10%. Everyone gets 10%. The whole world gets 10%. Other countries get more or whatever. The UK being one of those countries that got 10%. But this does not take into account surplus. It was all about the differences between what they charge us and what we charge them. And in fact, there's a lot more to this that has been missed out. But anyway, we're not going to go into how this was calculated because right now it doesn't really matter too much. What is important for us as investors is where do we go from here? What happens now? How do we navigate this? Well, the world today is looking at this with great intrepidation and fear and uncertainty. It was supposed to provide certainty, and it provides Nothing at all. Let me explain, and then we'll go in how you navigate this. If you like this video so far, I'm making this live, please tap the like button and consider subscribing. And thank everyone who took us over 75,000 subscribers last night. Really appreciate you very much indeed. Let me just bring some of these headlines, and then I'm going to break this down a little bit more. Okay, so last night, US Donald Trump on Wednesday announced his long-awaited plans for new tariffs. He dubbed this as Liberation Day. Trump said the US would implement a minimum baseline 10% tariff on imports from all countries. Now, everyone now has a 10% tariff on them, whether they like it or not. Below is the full list. I've shown you the full list. Okay, now, the purpose of this is to try and balance up trade. Does it achieve that? My opinion is this, and I'm going to tell you what I did. Last night, I waited till after hours. I bought 2 more shares of the S&P VU. Now, I'm buying because I'm bullish on American businesses. I'm not that bullish on the way the system is being run and all the rest of it, but I am bullish on the businesses, and I'm going to explain to you why this is so important I say that. So I bought, and I want to show you, another 2 shares of the S&P. There it is, 2 shares at 502. All the way down, I keep buying. Now, I'm buying not because I believe in what Trump's doing or not believe in what Trump's doing or pro or negative. I am buying because I'm an investor. I'm a value investor. I carry the same principles and the same thought processes, at least I think I do, as Warren Buffett. I'm looking for undervalue, I'm looking for oversold, and I'm looking for the most important thing, an asset that will be worth more in the future than it is today. All the noise, all the rah-rah is of no consequence to me whatsoever. So I bought the S&P. Now, the reason why I bought the S&P is because the 507 companies, it is, as it turns out, are about to start reporting again their earnings. And I've looked at the earnings, the projections, what we're expecting, and I'm going to cover all the major earnings, 4 a day, 2 on this channel, 2 on the extra channel, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, 4 earnings a day once we start next week for about a month. Going to cover as many earnings as possible to learn what the businesses are doing. And this is my thought. We're going to get a massive beat because we've got low expectations now, and the numbers, looking at the numbers, talking to the CEOs, the people that I'm in conversation with, we're going to get a good earnings season. This is kind of the worst scenario. Trump has started with the worst case scenario, as long as people don't retaliate. People are already planning on retaliating, but you have to remember this key point. America is the consumer, and that gives America an unprecedented power, because you don't want to bite back the hand that feeds you. We are not the manufacturer. We want to be, but right now we're the consumer. So you don't want to be slapping tariffs on us. What they will want to do, and what is a much better idea, is negotiate their tariffs that we've placed on them to go away. Now then, if they come to the table, which they already will, someone last night on the show, I think it was Saab, said to me in the show, one of our members said to me last night that it appears that Israel has done a deal to take away its tariffs so we can take away theirs. And that was mentioned on X last night, and we thought it was a rumor, and we had no verification. Since then, I've been speaking to some contacts in Israel, and I can tell you that does appear to be the case. So what we're going to have now, this is my prediction for you. We're going to have countries queuing up to come to the Oval Office and Mar-a-Lago and meet with Donald Trump. They're not going to want to retaliate. They're going to say they're going to retaliate, but they're not. That does not serve their interest because we are the consumer. They need us to buy their stuff. We don't make stuff. We buy stuff. All right. So they're not going to want to retaliate. What they're going to want to do is negotiate their tariffs that they've already had on us in return for us dropping the tariffs. Now, once that happens, you've got the golden age of the United States for many reasons. And let me explain why. Because if other countries drop their tariffs, which they weren't doing before, all of this noise and drama, if they do, that is a boom for America. We've also got a boom in this country, in my opinion. In fact, I wouldn't even say it's an opinion. It's basically looking at the numbers. The earnings season for at least 60 or 70% of the S&P is going to perform well. And we've now got low expectations, which means that's going to do very well.
Paranormal and Herbex donated £5 through a super chat. Can I book SPCE earnings?
Yes, you can. That's down on the list. That will happen for you on May the 6th after hours. Thank you very much indeed, Kent Paranormal, for your super chat. A member just super chatted me to cover the earnings. Members can request earnings. I'll do 4 earnings a day. So the earnings is going to do well. Now tomorrow, everything swings on tomorrow. This is really important, and I make another prediction, and I'm going to be right again. Tomorrow, we get a Fed speech. We get Jerome Powell, chair of the Fed, speaking tomorrow. I'm going to cover it live. I'll give you the link for that in a moment. What does that mean? Fed Chair Powell will speak tomorrow. Obviously, he will talk about this. He won't get political, though, but I think he will be dovish. He will look at this and he will say it's transitory. It's the tariffs are a short-term pain, which I believe will not even come into effect. Most of these won't happen until April the 9th. It's April the 3rd today. So I think most of these tariffs by April the 9th will be negotiated down. As I've just said, I do have some good evidence to support that Israel have already done it, and others will come to the table and say, we don't want to put tariffs on you. You are our customer. You buy our stuff. So we're not going to do that. That doesn't serve any purpose. So that's what's going to happen. Last night, my prediction was it would pop and sell off. It did. I bought it on the dip. I said I would, and I did. I do what I say, and I say what I do over and over again. I'm fully invested in the S&P, the United States, not because I think what Trump is doing is great, because some of it is, some of it isn't. The way it's being done, maybe not so good. I don't like everything he does, and I don't hate everything he does. I'm completely neutral. I've got no political bias here whatsoever. But my opinion is tomorrow, Jerome Powell will speak and give a dovish effect. Now then, where do we go from here? Well, the market has oversold today. The market always oversells.
Rallo1 donated $2 through a super chat. I agree, Martin. Most adjective will be done this weekend.
I agree with that. I agree. It's going to be a very busy weekend for Donald Trump. No question about it. I think that, well, I don't think, again, this is not a prediction. This is a statement of fact. Stock market always overreacts. It overbuys and it oversells. It's oversold. It's throwing the baby out with the bathwater this morning. The stock market is going down in free fall. This is a buying opportunity. We are now way undervalued on the S&P. The businesses that we own, the quality businesses, I wouldn't actually be in crypto right now. I've got to be honest. There's too much uncertainty there. But I would certainly maybe be buying the S&P. I'd be buying great American businesses right now. They're going to find a way through this. Tariffs are going to be negotiated down. The market has overreacted. But here is the little spoiler to just spoil the party, because so far what I'm saying is bullish, right? Fantastic. But there are some caveats to this, and I just want to explain a little bit of that. As I also put some color to it, what Donald Trump wants is to bring manufacturing back to the United States. It isn't. I'll explain why in a minute and what the real reason to all this is. Donald Trump, you might love or hate him, but he understands you can't build factories in 5 minutes. You can't replace supply chains in 5 minutes. That is multi-decade stuff. All right? Let me bring you this, and then let me tell you what I feel about that. So this is just out. Stock index futures tumble as Trump's tariff stoke global trade war concerns. Now, these headlines get everyone to sell off because people use futures as a guide to what is happening today. You don't need to read the futures to know the market is going to sell off. That's obvious, all right? But people amplify this. Stock futures tumbled on Thursday and yields plunged. There is the key word, and that is going to be the highlight of what I'm about to say. Yields plunged as President Donald Trump's reciprocal tariffs ignited fears of a potential global trade war. The S&P 500, there will be no trade war. I'll explain that in a moment.
Paul J donated $2 through a super chat. GM Martyn, should I sell XRP and rebuy it down 1,200?
I will discuss that at the end of this video. Thank you for the question. If you do a super chat, it reads it out and I will highlight your question. I will answer all your questions many times with a full video as well when you super chat like that. Donald Trump detailed new tariffs that the US is enacting on imports, the minimum baseline of 10%. You already know that, okay? In short, the tariffs put in place last night were extraordinary, both in terms of scale and in how they were calculated. President Trump announcing reciprocal tariffs under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, and he declared a national emergency over the trade deficit. Deutsche Bank Jim Reed said. Markets have seen a strong risk-off reaction to the tariff announcement, with S&P futures down, which would bring the index back into correction territory if it materializes in the regular session today. Reed added, Trump has tended to retreat rapidly from tariffs that visibly hurt the US consumer. Having a 10% near universal tariff questions how far retreats go. If there is no retreat, markets will price a US recession. If there is a retreat, markets will assume US growth will weaken, UBS Paul Donovan said. Now then, here was the crux of it. Donald Trump did this in the belief that it was all about bringing back manufacturing into the United States. Sorry to burst your bubble, has nothing to do with that. Donald Trump knows you can't build everything here in America. You just simply can't. It sounds great, but we don't have the expertise, we don't have the facilities, and we could have them, but it would take decades, all right? It takes decades to forge out all of these trade agreements and the supply chains and the expertise and so on and so forth. We currently don't have it. However, we are the leader in AI, robotics, and so on and so forth. We could go all in on robotics and there could be an explosion there. It's why I like NVIDIA and Tesla for all its failings with Elon Musk at the moment. But nevertheless, these are great American businesses that are going to save the day. I always say tech saves the day, which it does. It's why I like the S&P so much. But anyway, what we're going to get is not a sudden resurgence of everybody building in America. Some will, some won't. Some will make promises, some won't, whatever. What this has all been about, and we just spoke about the yields, we're talking about the Fed, inflation, and most importantly, rates, and more importantly, the debt crisis. It's way bigger than the tariffs, at least it is for America. I think this has all been done. And again, I don't think I'm making a statement of fact here from people I've spoke to who've confirmed that this is what it's all about. It's to bring the rates down. It's why I'm all in with cash. It's why I'm all in with margin. I'm not waiting to be told that rates are coming down. I'm not waiting to be told that earnings are going to be good. I'm not waiting to be told the Fed will be dovish tomorrow. I know those things. I understand those things. And that's why I'm all in. 100% of my cash, 100% of my margin I've bought because I recognized it's undervalued. I recognize that tariffs will be negotiated down. This is the worst. Now, if you believe that countries are going to retaliate and it's going to end into a trade war, you are wrong. In my opinion. Now, that isn't a statement of fact, that is an opinion. And the reason why I say it's an opinion, because we don't know. They could threaten that, but I don't believe that's the case. Why? Because we are the customer. We buy their stuff. Now, there's one little thing we need to understand here as well. Even though we are their customers, there are customers too. We also produce stuff as well. So if you punish other I keep saying companies for some reason, if you keep punishing other countries, particularly I'm talking about Vietnam, by the way, huge tariff put on them, and they make nearly all of our clothes and our shoes for Nike and so on and so forth, they could be in serious decline. Now, they can't afford the 10% tariff, even the standard tariff. They can't afford it. A lot of countries won't be able to afford the 10% tariff. Now, that is an important point. They can't afford the 10% tariff, so they can't afford to get aggressive and threaten. Most countries that have been given the standard 10%, the smaller countries, the emerging countries, developing countries, they can't afford it. They can't afford to threaten America. They will come to the table and they will say, we can't pay this. We don't want to pay this. How about we drop our tariff if you drop yours? That is what Trump wants. That is what's going to happen, and that's going to bring the interest rates down. That's going to pay off the debt early, and then the earnings is going to boom, and you're going to be glad you bought the American economy. I'm all in. I've lost $10,000 today. It's the biggest loss in one day. But I am from the UK. I'm not even an American citizen. I soon will be. I'm going through that procedure. I'm a green card holder at the moment. But let me tell you, I couldn't be more bullish. If I wasn't, why would I buy? Why would I be using my margin? Why would I be all in? Why would I be sitting here saying these things every single day? The markets always overreact. They oversell, they overbuy. It's what they always do. It's what they always will do. Last night probably wasn't presented very well. Whether you like Trump or hate Trump, you might think he rambled on way too long. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I'm not here to judge personalities or on any part of it. In fact, I'm not here to love or hate the president. I'm here to invest, make money for me, build a YouTube channel, and hopefully you will make money alongside with me. 23 trades, 23 wins, $5,000 to $300,000. I never lose. I'm not going to lose. I'm going to $1 million live on the show. We hit 75,000 subscribers. We're on the way to 100,000. 98% of our live viewers are members. I'm getting it done. We're getting it done. America is a great country. No question about it. It needs partnerships around the world. It will have them more than it's ever done. You watch every single day now, people queuing up to talk to Donald Trump. The small countries will come first. They will say things like, we can't pay this. Can you drop your tariff? And if we drop ours, we'll drop yours. Absolutely. What that will do, that will bring massive amounts of money back into the United States. Businesses will come into the United States. There'll be more reason to invest here. The stock market has been oversold. Earnings will do well. Rates will come down. The US debt will come down. This is potentially the golden age of America. And I'm just saying that as someone who's come from England. I understand the benefit. I understand the opportunity that is in America. In fact, I understand it more than most Americans. When I used to give talks at network meetings to inspire people that were down in the dumps going they can't grow their business, I would say these things. And I'm saying it now more than ever. There's my opinions on the tariffs. I hope you watch to the end of this video. I'm making this live, but it will go out later as its own video. Everybody here, please watch this so this trends later on. It's a good message, I believe, for the world, good message for America, and good message for the Lucozade and the investors of the stock market. Tap the like button. I hope you've all tapped the like button. There's 545 of you watching. Please do tap the like. Consider subscribing, become part of the Lucozade army, and join us on the way to 100,000 subscribers. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description, and also pinned to the comments. I will put more links of things I think would benefit you and things you need to see. We're now running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the Extra channel, restreaming these shows an hour or two behind because people are waking up around the world, and we now have viewers in 69 countries in 14 languages that watch our videos and our live streams at different times, but they enjoy being able to have it translated in their country, in their language, but also they enjoy the live chat. So even though the stream was an hour or 2 or 3 hours earlier, it's still relevant. It gives them live chat. So you might want to join us afterwards as we are live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, building our network. There we go. Over here, I'll put more videos I think you'll find useful. I've got the psychology of investing. I've got all kinds of things that'll help you become a wise investor and hopefully help you feel as calm as I do. Despite the amount of margin I've got, I feel bullish and calm. I understand where the market is going, not where the market has been. I'm focusing on the future. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Right, that'll go out as its own video. I don't even remember what time I started doing that. Was that about 8 o'clock? I don't even know what time I did that. 8. Tariff. I don't even know what time I did that. Right, okay. Live phone in. The phone line is open if you want to join me. We've got 10 minutes before the bell goes. Let me see what's going on. The Extra channel is busy this morning.
5G phones.
They're on a break. Of course they're on a break. Always on a bloody break. American TV is always on a break. Don't you get really frustrated by those channels that they say we'll be right back after this break. They go to a break, they come back and they say, thank you, see you next week, bye-bye. What the hell was that? Why did you have a break to come back to tell me goodbye? I think, was it NBC does that a lot? The late show, the evening news. Unbelievable. Just say goodbye. It's just stupid, isn't it? Anyway, let me read all your comments. We are in members only mode, so I can read everyone's comments. Oh, let me go to super chats first of all. So, Kent Paranormal gave a super chat and asked, can I cover the SPCE earnings? I confirm May the 6th, I will cover the SPCE earnings. Now, if you are a member, you can book earnings. Let me explain how this works. If you are a member of the channel, you can book an earnings. Let me give you the link to becoming a member. Here's the link if you want to become a member. 98% of our live viewers are members, more than any other channel in the world. Very proud of that. Go and check that out on YouTube, buddy. You can see it for yourself. I don't make these things up. So there you go. We offer free training. We don't charge for it. You can get access to Discord. You can get my interviews with CEOs as a member. I can answer all your questions. Some of you that have recently become a member, you may notice now on YouTube, there's a reply to your comments. I do them by hand. I don't use AI. I do them all. I spend about an hour, 2 hours every evening while I'm watching the TV with Leah answering your comments. So if you reply to a comment on YouTube as a member, I filter them as members members. I don't see anybody else's comments. I just don't. And I post all of the members' comments, and I reply to all members' comments. I will engage with you on X and Instagram if you want to grow there. I'll help you there. You can sponsor the channel and you can talk to the world if you want to be a sponsor for $99. There are many perks. We've even got a platinum member who gets his own videos news I make specifically for one person. We have one platinum investor. All right, so we have one platinum investor. That's $500 a month. We have a big investor who watches our channel. All right, so there you go. If you want Seeking Alpha and Alpha Spread for all the research tools that I use, the pro tools, you can have free trials and so on. If you are in the United States and you want free shares of on Robinhood, there's the Robinhood USA. I've got many people now watch me in the UK. There's Robinhood UK. Click on that. You can do it live right now and get free shares. I woke up this morning and someone else did it. I ended up winning $7.62. Thank you very much. You would have got some free shares as well. Let me know what you win and that'll be great. Now then, the first super chat was Kent Paranormal, who mentioned about earnings. So let me go over to the earnings chart. This is what you can have. All right. This is after hours today. Can't have today because it's too late now, and you can't have tomorrow. It's too late. Right? But from next week, if I scroll forward 1 week, here we go. Earnings season is just around the corner. Leah will be so thrilled to hear that. Right. So on Monday, the 7th of April, these are the earnings. Adex, Homes to Life, Levi's, Dave & Buster's, the Greenbrier Company. We can do 4 a day. Two in the morning, 2 in the evening, 1 on the main channel, 1 on the extra channel. That's another reason for the extra channel. On Tuesday, we have Walgreens, Tilray earnings. That's a big one for the show. You can see all the earnings here. See them on the screen. All right. We've got Delta Airlines. I'm just reading out some of the highlights. One's Bryner. I know you're quite keen on Bryn. BYRN. On Friday, JP Morgan, BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, the banks coming in. And then it starts getting really exciting the next week. Now you can book as far ahead as you like. There is earnings season in full swing. We've got the banks. These are all the stocks you can see here. I'm just going to mention a few. Morning and after. Now it's first come, first serve. I can only do 4 a day. Right. Most channels don't even do 1. I'll do 4. All right. So there you go. That's the power of the Lucozade Army. We have a whole network of channels and 3 broadcasters. J&J, here it goes. Bank of America, Citi, Unilever, J&J, you want that one. Someone should request that one. All the way down, you can see all these companies. You can request them yourself. Now, if you want to know about the earnings, I'll give you the link in the chat. You can go and see which earnings you want to cover. I'll give it you 3 times. There is the link to the earnings, and you can go and look yourself. And if you are a member and you do a $5 super chat, you can book an earnings yourself. Let me just change that. Not that. There's a better way. How do I do it? View week. View week. All. Where's that gone? Why did that do that? All right. Don't worry about that. I'll refresh that later. Okay. I'll come back to that. There you go. That's better. I just had to refresh it. All right. Okay. Let me come to my next super chat comment. Rallo1 said, I agree, Martyn. Most ADJ will be done. Most adjustments, is that over the weekend? I think you're right. Super chat from Paul J. Good morning, Martyn. Should I sell XRP and rebuy it at $1,200? You mean $1? What do you mean $1,200? $1. What's $1,200? 12? I don't know. Buy it down. Anyway, I'm going to answer that for you. The best thoughts I can give you is our technician. And our crypto expert is Sensei. on Sunday. He's bound to do a show on this, and it's not going to change much between now and Sunday. The markets aren't going to do much until next week after the negotiations start. All right. So you might want to, I wouldn't be in any crypto at the moment because of all this uncertainty. I just want to own the S&P. Look at Bitcoin. It's all go. This could all crash 50%. The S&P isn't going to. It's already gone down like 16% from the peak to the trough. Maybe another 10%. That's what I said. If it breaks the support, it's going down 10%. Am I waiting for that? Absolutely not. Because as we get close to it, people will start buying it in mass. There's money on the sideline. So I'm not. That's why I'm not waiting. What I suggest you do is join Sensei on Sunday, and he will do a chart for you. If you tell him I sent you, Paul J, you've given me a super chat, he'll do a chart for you on XRP.
Daniel Spence donated £10 through a super chat. With Tesla shares down and Lucid and Rivian in focus, what do you think of Polestar, PSNY? Seeing more of them in the UK and EU? Could the stock be on the up?
Daniel Spence, there's a good question. How long have I got? I've got 4. That's a decent super chat. So let me just have a quick look for you. How long have I got? I've got 4 minutes. Let me have a good look. Tesla's down, but remember, Tesla's about to go back up again because Elon. I broke yesterday. I was the first in the world. I was like an exclusive. I had a good tip off yesterday about Elon going back to Tesla, and Tesla investors absolutely love that. So we do have that now. We do have. That to look forward to. So I wouldn't be giving up on Tesla right now, but Lucid, I would certainly look at Lucid taking some of the customers. I do think that is going to be a real deal. But you're saying Polestar, PSNY. Let me have a quick look at for you. PSNY. So let me give you some numbers. We don't have a PE on this. It's not making any money, is it? It's a penny stock, $1.04. Now, the valuation is C. I'm looking at the valuation of this company and trying to ascertain 2 billion market cap, short interest 2%. So no real down interest here. Valuation, let me just bring it on the screen. Valuation is C. So it's up from C minus. And growth, however, is slow to B+. Profitability is F. It's not making any money. Too uncertain. Momentum is C. Revisions is C. Let me see if there's any latest information. February the 28th. No, that's not relevant anymore. That's old news. I wouldn't be looking at this. Just because it looks cheap. Let me give you a quick. How long have I got? I've got 2 minutes. Let me look at the balance sheet for you. PSNY. Let me have a quick look. The intrinsic valuation, it does, and again, if you want my software, there's Alpha Spread and Seeking Alpha. If we look at the valuation for you, it's 60% undervalued, but there's no DCF. It's only based on DCF valuation, so it's unreliable. A lot of people are looking at this intrinsic value and going, "Oh, it looks cheap." It isn't. It's not got enough data on it. Its revenue is expected to increase. In fact, estimate 25 March estimate. We've not had any numbers from them for a while. Okay, that's not a good sign. That reminds me of SMCI. Their balance sheet, what's their debt looking like? Doesn't show any. In fact, it's because they're not reporting. No. Net margin, no. Net margin, negative 68%. This will be a very speculative play. Look, 37% profitability, makes no money, and 30% solvency. This could go bust. I wouldn't be doing this. 61% downside, worst case scenario, and we are in that territory at the moment at least. 42% upside. If it goes well, but it's a purely speculative gamble. That's not for me. I've run out of time. That was just a brief look for you. I wouldn't be buying that. I would much rather buy Lucid or Rivian or stay with Tesla than looking at Polestar. If I remember correctly, it was a SPAC, Special Purpose Acquisition Company, and nearly all of those, including Virgin Galactic, by the remember, was a SPAC, don't end well. So I wouldn't look at that as an option. I'm afraid that's not for me. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got to refresh Wall Street. The market's open in a second. How long have I got? 30 seconds.
And I know this because I checked in on the chips every day.
Get ready for a big day. Don't expect too much until next week, though.
CoreWeave has everyone bidding for it. CoreWeave had a big.
Let's get ready with the bell.
But it's not because Microsoft. Everything's being built by OpenAI, and I wish people would stop with that story about Microsoft pulling back because it's not right.
The fresh one on the tape
3,
today.
2, 1.
Dell's going to open down 10. Yeah, Oculus going to open down 8. That's all. I mean,
I think that Dell thought that they were going down there.
Okay, let's go.
But Jim, we may still be waiting for exemptions. We may be still waiting for negotiations.
Jensen got away.
And that's going to be more uncertainty. More uncertainty.
NVIDIA got the exemption last night. NVIDIA got the exemption because they're making the chips in Arizona. That's the plan. And because the president
Let's
said
go.
for AI. So you can knock NVIDIA down all you want, but NVIDIA, they did not.
And let's go for all our positions. Let's clear that away. So the overall portfolio is trying to show support at this level. It's starting to go up. Let's go. The S&P is starting to move up. Virgin Galactic now down today 6.48. 274. Palantir, I'll go back to the short interest later on for Virgin Galactic. Palantir is down. Gold is down. That's interesting. That tells me a lot because gold is down so much, all-time highs, people taking profit, money on the sidelines. We could get a pop here, but I don't expect it until Monday after the weekend negotiations. It will catch you out. Sunday night, I'll be live looking at that, but expect a very violent open on the Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'll be covering it live. Amazon's down, trying to go up. Apple is down big time, nearly 8% today. Flipping it. Next year, energy stocks are the winner right now, no question about it. Enphase Energy, a good buy. Coca-Cola, look at defensives, doing great. J&J up massive. This is need 2.5%. I told you yesterday. Did I not? Did I say over and over again? J&J, you should have bought it yesterday. It's a $200 stock. It's now got clarity in its talcum powder litigation. It's going to pay it off. It always was, always will. It's going to do it now. It's a defensive stock, a huge benefit. This is a leading sector and it was massively oversold. It was a huge buy. I wish I bought single stocks. I could make a ton of money out of that. I told you all of that, 100%, and there it goes, 2.6% today. Oil down. Drill baby drill doesn't exist. I'm afraid the drillers don't like it because oil is going down. They don't like it. Chevron oil is down 3.67. Tesla down and rebounding. It's rebounding because of Elon Musk coming back. Last night I brought you a world exclusive and said, this is a world exclusive. I just got it from the White House before Meet Kevin put it out on his channel or anyone was talking about it on Bloomberg and CNBC. I told you that Elon Musk was going back to Tesla. Tesla investors like that. McDonald's, you cannot overbuy land. You cannot overbuy land. I keep saying that. Google, the best buy of the tech stock alongside Nvidia. Microsoft, too expensive. Nvidia, we told you the bottom was 100. It was. Keep saying it over and over again. Keep saying it's a $200 stock. It is. Great time to buy, but I would buy it through the S&P to give myself exposure to this and this and this. You really want, I'm going to say again, this, and this. Buy the S&P for this. Okay, can't be more clear. Walmart, Tilray. No information about Tilray doing a deal with the rescheduling, but we got the earnings next week. If someone requests it, I'll cover it. Robinhood, $40 stock. It's back under $40 again. You can buy this now. You can definitely buy Robinhood once again. IonQ, too expensive. Keep saying it. Rocket Lab, too expensive, but great. Plug Power, you can't buy Plug Power. You can't buy Plug Power. It was better at 195 to 250. It was a tradable area. We knew why. We were talking to the flipping Russian oligarchs who were trying to manipulate the stock. All the threats I was getting, it was ridiculous. And we'll give you all this money, Martyn, if you just say this, blah, blah, blah. I don't take any money from anybody, just super chats and memberships. Anyway, Plug Power, you can't buy it now. So much volatility in crypto, I would not be in it right now at all. Member Sensei has said it's not a matter of when, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Crypto goes down 50%, you're not going to see that in the S&P. Right, there you go. There's my rundown for the day. Okay, now then, the market is trying to push up, down. Look, see how this changes? This is a very important statement here. Warren Buffett was asked, what does it feel like to lose millions of dollars in a day? He says, I haven't lost millions of dollars. I don't lose until I sell. I've now got a portfolio of over $300,000. So my portfolio moves up thousands. I mean, I was down 10 grand 5 minutes ago. I'm now down 8.7. This is what I've got to get used to now. And the day is coming for $1 million trades. I will do $1 million trades. That's just the same as doing a $1 trade. The principle remains the same. Right, I've answered all the questions. I've done all the super chats. I've done all the requests. Let me now come back to my members' comments. So start repeating your comments, please. So Tommy Tinkler, America, same as the UK. Now, if you want to call in, the phone is open. If you want to be on the show, have your say, ask me a quick question. Just dial in for a minute, or you want to call in for 10 minutes. It's entirely up to you. Let me know you're calling in and I will go and pick up the phone to you. All right, everyone has a say here. America's same as the UK. The elite rich will get richer and the working and middle class will get poorer. That is true, Tommy Tinkler. You've always got to think like a rich person, though. I left home at 16 with nothing. All right, no one gave me anything. I only had one month, about 3 weeks actually, unemployment benefit in my entire life. No grants, no handouts, no money. When my mum died, I got $1,500 and it went towards that microphone. When my dad died, I got nothing. I've done it all myself. I've only ever worked for myself in the same industry, entertainment, since I was 4 years of age. Do it yourself. Don't complain. You can do whatever you want to do. Life is yours. The opportunities are there. But yeah, if you think like a poor person, behave like a poor person, you'll be a poor person. You've got to live it, believe it. And all this stuff about manifesting and dreaming is a lot of nonsense. If you dream, you become a dreamer. If you manifest, it doesn't mean anything. Manifest has to happen with action. You work towards it every day. You don't see obstacles, you only see goals. You only see goals. You're aware of the obstacles, but you don't see them as obstacles. When we had our trolls a few weeks ago, and still, today, I used it to build the channel even better. And I improved the channel. I improved the phone-in experience. I improved the comment experience. I improved the quality of the videos, the security of how we handle things. More of my time goes into making live streams and answering silly emails and all the rest of it. So look at every single problem as an opportunity, as an obstacle to get round. And every single win is an encouragement to you. Every single win makes you stronger. The more I get trolled, the more people try to bring me down, the harder I work, the harder I hit back. And last night, I finished. Last night, we got all our legal stuff in hand to take care of our troll. They're getting fined now. And the other thing, which was really, really funny, you know all the scammers I've had on X? They're all gone now. You'll see a couple remain there today, and they'll be gone within 48 hours. There's not a single Martyn Lucas investor account left. The bigger we get, the more power we get, the more resources that I get, the more I defend and protect this channel. So it just keeps getting stronger. So when people hit you, you just come back and hit harder. And it's not how many punches you give, it's how many punches you can take. And when people attack you, they make you stronger. They make me stronger every day. So Tommy Tinkler, remember that. Don't think as a poor person, think as a rich person. And remember this underlying fact. Poor people spend and they invest what's left. Rich people invest and spend what's left. Let your money build up your army. Let your money make money. And when your money is making money, then you can live on the money that the money is making. Does that make sense? If you start out in life by spending money, you will never have any money. Ever. Ever. If all you do is spend and consume, you'll just have no money. All right? What I did is I built a business. I lived out my dreams. I went all around the world. I did everything I wanted to do. I had my own theatre show, did all the big stuff, and whatever. And then as I went through life, realized, okay, now the playing is over, the fun's over. Even though it was a real business, it's now time to prepare a secure future. I've had the experiences. I've traveled everywhere. I've done everything. Let me now build build a financial base. So I went away on a cruise ship. I earned $1 tips over and over again when everybody else was sat on the beach. I paid my house off. I now own the house. I then invested with solar panels so the house runs for free on electric. Never moved. Been in the same house all my life. At least 30 years. So, I don't move, I don't upgrade, I just stay there and take care of what I've got. Live a very simple, basic life in England, right? I came to America to marry Leah, my wife, right? That was it. I still got my home. And then I paid off my car loan, I paid off my credit card. I don't owe any money. Then I started to invest. But I didn't start to invest until I built the engine that can provide the income to invest. So I decided to build a YouTube channel and it must make money. So I went live for a year and a half earning no money, knowing the biggest investment was myself. Learn, grow, build something. It will pay off. It will work. I had no doubt about it and I kept going and going and going. And for months I was talking to nobody watching, no members, no viewers. Mike and Bill were there, the two people at the very beginning. Kept on going. The biggest investment you make is in yourself. Now, when you've got income, you can invest. You don't use the stock market as a cash machine. That's what people with no money try to use it for. Start by the discipline. Build the foundations, pay off the debt. Don't invest until you've got no mortgage. Pay that down. Work 10 jobs. Eat bread and water. I know I sacrificed everything to pay everything off. In fact, I still sacrifice everything. I sit in this studio 12 hours a day, spend nothing, go nowhere. I build this business. This is what about. Now, when my money is making money, I can spend money. Think of your money as soldiers. You are the castle. You're in your castle. You've got your army of money. Your money is the $1 bills. The soldiers go out. Every single soldier must come back. You don't lose money. Every single soldier, you bring him home, but he brings back a little bit with him each time. Each time he conquers a bit more. That's what money does. Money is not for spending. Money is for making money. If you spend money, you're losing money. Invest money, right? Now, in less than 5 years, in 4 years, 4.5 years, live on this show, I'll have $1 million. From 5,000 to 1 million. Live on the show, you'll all watch me do it. That $1 million will now earn 100 grand a year. Oops.
Daniel Campbell donated $5 through a super chat. Great stuff, Martyn. Party popper emoji. Watch your opio on Comsop Holdings.
I'll have a look in a moment. It's not a full review, but I'll have a quick look for you, Daniel. Thank you very much. So once I've got $1 million and I've sacrificed, I've gone through another 4.5 years of just earning, saving, investing. I've now got $1 million. I've now got 100 grand a year just on compounding, doing nothing, just staying in the market. I've now got 100 grand a year. So now, assume I've got no income. I don't work on YouTube anymore. I've got no income. I've got 100 grand a year. So I spend 50 grand a year. So I've still got my $1 million and I've still got 50 grand a year going back in on the top. I'm still growing. My pot is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm spending 50 grand a year. But I'm spending money after the money is multiplying and it's out of control now. It's going viral. It's making money by itself. That is the time to spend money. Now, when you're young, you shouldn't just be all out investing. When you're young, you should be experiencing life. You should be learning, taking risks, having fun, living dangerously, getting scared. Do everything you can to live a full life. If you can be a little bit wise, put a few bucks away in the S&P every week, forget about it, and you'll be thanking me in the future. But if you don't want to think like that, it's never too late. I started investing just 4 years ago, and the first 2 years, all I did was lose money. So I've only been doing the right thing now for 15 months. That's all. I've only been doing the right thing for 15 months. I haven't had my payday yet. It hasn't happened yet. I'm waiting. But am I selling out? Am I going, oh, this is taking too long. I'm still waiting to get back 30 grand from Virgin Galactic. Let's buy Binky Bonk. Let's sell it all. Let's move it into XRP. Let's move it into this. Let's switch into J&J. You know it's going to $200. Let's go back into defensives. Let's go into Coca-Cola. Let's change. No. Stay the course. The course will win. It's the right path. Just stay on it. Warren Buffett is successful because he's lived a long time. He's made loads of mistakes. He's always making mistakes, but he's lived the longest time. And that's it. He made most of his money after he was 60. I'm 56. So it's never too late to start doing the right thing. It's very easy to make money in this world. The hard part is to keep it. Think like a rich person. Associate with successful people. Don't hang out down the pub. Don't hang out with losers. Don't hang out with people who tell you this is the way to do it. And then you ask them, how much money have you got? Well, I ain't got any. How much mortgage have you got? How much car loans have you got? How much credit cards have you debt? Oh, I've got loads of credit card debt. Why am I listening to you then? Ask the people who associate yourself with the people who have money. Associate yourself with people who are successful. Associate yourself with the people. And in fact, I will tell you this, and this is the God's honest truth. In my life, I've worked with the biggest stars in entertainment and music. As you know, I'm the world piano man voted by Elton John, right? And I'll tell you this is the truth. The people at the bottom with nothing, playing in a pub for £20 a night, $20 a night, they're nice. Great people. Nearly all of those people are great. The busker on the street, those people are kind of nice. The people, in fact, I'll go to the top. The people right at the top who have made it. You're Elton John, you're Billy Joel, whoever. These are the people that I've spent my life in contact with. They're great. Why are they great? They've done it. They're telling you the truth. They're being fair with you. They're great people. The A-listers. And I don't mean the B's and the C's, I mean the A's. The ones who have made it, they're content. They're nice people. The ones in the middle are a pain in the bloody arse. They're the scammers, the liars, the manipulators, stab you in the back because they've got no self-security, they don't believe in themselves, they've had no real success. So don't associate with these people. Associate with the people at the bottom and the people at the top. The people at the bottom can be the salt of the earth, hard-working people. They might have nothing at all, but they might be the most decent, wonderful people. And in my experience, people with nothing at all, tend to be the most wonderful people I have ever met. And I mean nothing. I don't mean the people in the middle. I don't mean the people who pretend to be wealthy, but they're not. I don't mean those people. I mean the people at the bottom. They seem to be great. Some of the poorest people I've ever met in the world are the most decent human beings who will give you everything. They will tell you the truth. They will get up in the morning. They will deliver for you. They will work hard. They will support you. The bottom. People at the top. It's the ones in the middle. So don't associate yourself with people that are going to promise you all sorts of stuff and tell you this is what you should do with your money, when they've got no idea what they're talking about, when they've got debts up to their eyeballs, when they've got mortgages coming out their ears and all the rest of it. In fact, I used to attend hundreds. I was on many boards. In fact, I think I was on 12 boards at the time around the Dallas area in network meetings. Waste of time. Anybody at a network meeting, anybody going to a meeting, you don't want to associate with them Because if they're successful, they haven't got time to be at a meeting. Anyone who ever goes to a coaching exercise, you know, what's his name? The big guy who does, what's his name? There's a guy who does motivational events. He puts on stadiums, and there's always the same people paying all this money to go in, Tony Robbins, to be told how to be successful. The stadium is full. There's only one winner, Tony Robbins. Everybody at those events keeps going back and back and back. If you're successful or not, but building for success, you're busy doing it. I'm in here 12 hours a day. I haven't got time to be selling myself, going to network meetings, having someone rah-rah me up, someone tell me how great I am and get me to punch the air and I'm just building the business, all right? So associate with the people, the right people, the winners and the ones who are workers right at the bottom, and you'll succeed. I guarantee you'll succeed. Provide yourself with the right information, stay on course, and you will do well. Life is easy to win. The hard part is to keep it. And the biggest enemy is ourselves. The world's not out to get you, but you need to take drastic action. If you can't afford, you're buying stuff to make yourself feel better, and you've got debt, drink water, eat bread. I'm telling you, be absolutely relentless. Because if you're relentless, you'll be out of debt in 5 minutes. People go, yeah, but I like this. I'll have a bit of that at the weekend. Be relentless. Knock it out. Stop it. Get the debt paid off. Start investing. Get the money to build money. And then you'll always be successful. It's very easy. All right. But what is easy, some people find hard to do. Rocket Company, the stock I own, is green, up a staggering 2 cents. Now, what do I do with the money? All I know is that Trump is pulling all unnecessary spending in and out of the country. I know is that if we go broke taking care of the rest of the world, we surely can't take care of anyone here. Tommy Tinkler, agreed. Money doesn't grow on trees. It doesn't. Be homeless living in my car. I'll be homeless living in my car starting in June. But it's going to be an experiment to save more money. Jonathan Carter, one of my viewers here, Vaz, one of my broadcasters, lived in a car for a while. He came across bad times. One of our members here, one of our biggest supporters, some more super chats than anyone. One of our members here has lived in a car when fell on bad times. So nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, now if you want to call in, let me know you're calling in the chat and I will let you in. My SQQQ is up right now. Want to get a van and do a van life. Cool. I used to live in a caravan. It was cool, actually. Jonathan, I did that. I lived in a caravan, really, really cheap. So I'm familiar with what you're talking about. Alex is calling in. All right, Alex is calling in. Let me put Alex in guest spot number 1. Thank you, Alex. I just saw you calling in there. Thank you very much. And I just noticed last night when I watched the replay on Extra, I could see you were actually playing my music show on the TV behind me. Thank you. Clocking up the hours. Appreciate that, Alex. Good stuff. So we did look at Polestar. I did that. Jonathan, possibly S&P hits 4.6 later in the year. He's down. I wouldn't be waiting for it to go down. That's not what I'm doing, of course. Polestar is a Volvo brand partner, part of the Geely Auto brand group. Thank you for that. Polestar below $1 this morning. Good morning, fellow humans. Polestar is partly owned by Volvo. Yes, I'm very familiar with that. I used to be in Sweden a lot. 4 US rate cuts this year, now 50%. 4 rate cuts. Well, I'm only budgeting my margin on 2. I've always said 2. 3 or 4 would be an absolute gift to me. And then when that happens, of course, they print money. Everyone buys. I'm already in. Happy days. Morning Platinum. Morning to you. We got our couple here. Dynamite and Platinum are our power couple investors. Yo, those market clowns will cheer even if a nuclear disaster was imminent, says 1 in 7. Wrap is up 2%. Go figure. They are making money either way. I'm sure they are cheering. How is Microsoft expensive? Microsoft is expensive. Look at its forward PE and you will see that it's an expensive stock. It's not a matter of opinion, it's a matter of fact. Bought 2 shares of the S&P when it went down to 499. Josh Monroe. Oh, I'm so jealous of you. I bought it at 500, I think 501. Good, 502, I think it was. Morning, Martin. Good morning to you. Alex, good morning. In the UK, water rates up 49%. It's a joke. Electric and gas has gone up as well. Council tax gone up. Yeah, I know. I pay my council tax with my Robinhood credit card and get 3% off my council tax. Just saying, by the way. All right? I pay my UK council tax with my Robinhood card and get 3% off. Stuff the 5%. I got 3 of it back. All right, that's a fact. Martin, how close did the storm get yesterday? Very, very close. We had some storms here, so I couldn't go out and do my walk and talk. But we didn't have the egg size hail. Tell them, Martin, the queen of self-braiding. I've watched you grow this channel from day one. Yes, you have. The queen of self-braiding was here on day one. Yes, she was. I tipped you $5 on the Carnival ship on the 90s. I tipped you. Hang on. I tipped you $5 on a Carnival ship on the 90s at the piano bar. You didn't, mate, because I wasn't on Carnival in the 90s. I was doing some private yachts in the 90s. But anyway, good try. Anyway. This is painful day. Everyone is doing okay and staying strong. Well, if they need support, they can call in. People are calling words out and you added them to songs. People were calling words out and you added them to songs. You actually saw me on a cruise ship, did you, Ed Nevius, in the 90s? In the 90s, I was on private yachts and I was doing Celia and Viking Line in Sweden, in the Nordics, and in the archipelago, in the fjords, the Arctic Circle and Norway and all that, Finland and all that stuff. I wasn't in America doing Carnival, but I think you mistake me from somebody else. Martin is working on the Binky Bonk song, Blockchain now. We'll be out soon. Yeah, you're damn right. If I think I can get some views on it, I'll make a Binky Bonk song. It won't be complimentary though, so get ready for that. Where is James? Jim C. Maybe he can make a Binky Bonk meme coin. Cool, sign me up. Crashes. Jerry, I disagree with paying off your mortgage. I'm sorry, I'm not calling in, but I think that paying off the mortgage is something some people need to do some personal research on. Yeah, of course. Do your own research. But you disagree paying your mortgage off? Okay, fair enough. Why would you want to have a mortgage? Why would you want to pay more in interest? Why would you want to do that? Just giving the bank free money? I don't know. Maybe you like donating money to the bank. I don't know. If you have money, cedar trees. Tony Robbins, that was the guy. Thank you all for sharing that. Jim C, morning. It feels like a hangover morning after what happened yesterday. Yes, work hard, invest harder. That's right. I lived off bread and water for years. Martin is 100% correct. Samuel Redner. Thank you, Samuel. I'm always right. You know I'm always right. I'm ready to buy. No FOMO. I'm ready to buy, no FOMO. That's right. Anyone phoning in, come on, guys. I will start. I'm phoning in, says Alex. There you go. I'm boycotting calling in until James calls in. James, all right, James 007. I like that. Stacey, come on. Haven't heard you for a while. Andy Calcutt, just going through a horrible second divorce. Mate, I know. I went through a divorce, lost everything. In fact, I just gave it all away. I didn't want the hassle. I didn't want to waste years and years of messing around. When I got divorced, my wife took everything. My house, my car, my kids, and left me with all the debt. I kid you not. That actually happened. And I didn't do a damn thing. I went, take it all. I was 25, 26 years of age. I started with about 40 grand of debt. and a house with mortgage, which I lost. And I said, sod it. I'm not going to spend the next 10 years fighting this. So I let it all go, and I won by just staying in the game and coming back. And here I am today. So there you go. Just going through a horrible second divorce. I'm 54,000 in debt due to everything. Don't give any money to the lawyers then. Walk away, start again. Sod it. Don't waste a single day fighting and messing around with pointless nonsense. Have little access to my little girl, but still I'm fighting and smiling. I wish you the best. There's nothing worse than losing your family. I get that. I lost two of my kids. I do understand that. But when it comes to the money, just move on. You'll just spend your whole life fighting and getting nowhere. I know. Yes, I want James too. Interested that Trump didn't put tariffs on Russia. A lot of people have mentioned that. We don't know, but we don't see it on any of the lists. You're right. TSM earnings coming out on April the 7th, down 5% today. Is it a good time to buy? I don't know. I've never reviewed it. I'm happy with my one share review. I love it. Oh, hang on.
One of 7 billion donated 10 Canadian dollars through a super chat. Martyn, I would love to hear how in 2.5 years you took 5K buying the S&P and have the balance you have given the S&P is roughly $500 a share more or less.
I'd love to hear how in 2.5 years you took $5,000 buying the S&P and have the balance you have given the S&P is roughly 500. Okay. All right. I'll try to explain that again. James, call in. Oh, hello, James, call in. Look easier for me to adjust the US index rather than the stock pick and the dips now. Solantis ideas. I'm just going to get through all the comments and then I'll come back to the super chats. Lucid got me an easy 2x. Told everybody that Lucid was a good one to look at. Getting more US stocks with a stronger pound today. Nope, I'm sticking to it, James. I'm not calling in, and that is final. Mark Saxby. Ed, maybe we can have a private yacht, but was so big it looked like a cruise ship. Wonder if there's a 10% tariff on the UK export Prince Harry. Oh God, don't mention Prince Harry to me. He's a bloody idiot. No one in England likes Prince Harry. He's a pain in the bloody arse. No one likes Prince Harry, do they, Alex? Do you like Prince Harry? He's a pain in the bloody arse. Alex is going, don't know. I do. I bloody hate the bloke. He's a pain in the backside. Always, oh, look at me. I got a pull. Get out of it. You always trying to get money out of somebody. Go and get on with your life, you bloody moaning idiot. Anyway, always bloody... How could a prince moan? Just get on with your life. 1997, 1998 on the fun ships. No, definitely wasn't me. In that period of time, it wasn't me. Could have sworn it was you. May have a pick. All right, sent in Discord.
Josh Monroe donated $2 through a super chat. Trump did put sanctions on Russia, though.
Buying up more VU and SPCE, scooping up NVIDIA. Mark is, oh no, Canadian dollars. That will be tariffed. Here comes the NVIDIA bounce. Simon, super chat. Trump did put sanctions on Russia though. Yeah, we've not seen any evidence of it. That's all I'm saying. All right, we have not seen any evidence. Gotta laugh, right? Okay. Let me come back to the super chats. Right. So, what was our last comment? So the first thing was Daniel Campbell says. Well, let me just bring in our guest first of all. He's been sitting there waiting. You know, it just seems the right thing to do, really. Guest spot number one. Alex, good morning to you. How are you, mate?
Good morning, Martyn. Good morning, everyone. I'm very well, sir. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. Thank you for everything yesterday. Thank you for co-hosting and supporting the channel and moderating. All the moderators do such a great job. And I want to thank you for everything you do on the channel, mate. So thanks for that. Appreciate it a lot. How did it feel this morning to be losing all your money? Good, innit?
I'm not going to lie. I've sat down yesterday night before I fell asleep. And I thought a lot. And after a year and a half, I didn't feel anything. Like, I know my strategy. I know where I invested. Just gotta be patient. So it didn't affect me really.
That's good. That's good. You feel that way. You see, we've got people just starting out. Because I know you're investing wisely as well. We've got people just starting out, all panicking, over leveraging, don't know what to do, selling on the way down. Oh, this is terrible. I'm waiting for it to go much, much lower. And of course, all of a sudden, it'll pop up like you've never seen. As soon as we get, and it'll probably come on Monday. Once we get the earnings start doing well, and that's only a week away, right? The banks, once you start seeing earnings do well, and then you see some of the tariffs get negotiated down, this is the bottom, right? Things go up from here. It will go up so quick, you'll think, why did I wait? But, that's going to happen. But I'm perfectly happy. I feel good about it.
I mean, it took 3 months. If we think about it, it took 3 months. Sorry, hello, Platinum Crystal. It took 3 months to go to the bottom. Even though that we called the other day the bottom, we see the bottom. We went slightly like 5-10% yesterday, further down.
Yeah.
So considering that it took 3 months to reach to the level that every stock is right now, when we see green days, green weeks, green months, it will go faster than I can ever imagine.
Yeah.
So the bull days are on the way. I believe that with the less knowledge that I have, but it's so obvious. Trump has a plan. You said as well that it will reach to a point that I lower the tax if you lower the tax. And it's the only way to achieve things. Like, you have to be harsh, because I'm not allowed to swear. You have to be harsh in order to achieve something greater that you've planned it.
Fair comments. Let me go back to the comments. We've got no one else calling at the moment. We'd love to have a debate if everybody else wants to join you. So stay with me if you'd like to continue on the line. And once
Absolutely.
Again, thank you for yesterday. Great job. Okay, let's go back to the comments here. I want to ask, hello. I just grabbed the screen and dragged it onto another monitor. Let me fix that. All right, I fixed it. Bloody hell, that was a bit of a scary moment. Right, okay, let me go to the Super Chat comments. Someone said to me, Daniel Campbell says, if you are calling in, Jim, I'm calling in. Jim C's calling in as well. All right, okay, I'll put you there. There's Jim. Hello, Jim. Let me put James in spot number 9, and I'll put Alex in 8, and we'll bring them both on together in a moment. Let me just do these comments first. Thank you, James, for calling in. I'll be with you in just a moment. Let me just zoom you out a little bit. This is our free chicken man. You may remember. He's all after the free chicken. Love the hair, by the way. Is that for stress? Anyway, you'll see what I mean in a minute. He's just having a go at me because I haven't got any hair. You'll see in a minute. Stand by for that. So Daniel Campbell says, great stuff, Martyn. What's your opinion on ComSoap Holdings? ComSoap. And now I have no opinion on it. I've never reviewed the stock ever, so I've got no idea what it is, but you've given me a super chat, so I will have a quick look at it for you. It's not a full review, but let me just have a quick look. COM ComScope, and got a clue what it is. Oh, it's a penny stock. Okay, it's down today. It's all over the place. Let me just mute my guest for a moment. What is it? Engages in provision infrastructure solutions, community data center. Okay. It's losing money, negative 2%, 2 times price to earnings ratio, low volume, very small company. All right. Well, a chart doesn't tell me anything about the business. So let me just go over here. Is it COMM? Let's have a quick look. I'll have a quick look for you. So the answer to your question has got a short interest of 5%, not enough volume, so don't expect a short squeeze. It's not got a forward PE. Forward PE is 6 times earnings. So we are currently negative, but we're expecting a 6 times earnings on this. Let me have a quick analysis on it. this is not a full analysis, but you did ask me, so I'm going to, you gave me a super chat. So let me just give you this information here. I've got some software, I've just run it through, and it's given me this information for your stock that you're interested in. So valuation, com represents an attractive valuation. Its price to sales ratio is 0.29, significantly lower compared to the sector of 2.91. So the price to sales is good, indicating the stock is relatively inexpensive. Additionally, the PE of 6.55 offers a substantial discount compared to the sector of 21. So from a valuation standpoint, great. Let's look at growth. Growth metrics are concerning, with a notable decline in revenue growth year over year by -8%. So it's going backwards, substantially lagging behind the sector's 5% growth. This negative trend highlights challenges in the company's expansion efforts. So that's not good. Profitability remains a concern, with a net income margin of -8%, significantly below the sector median of 4%. This reflects inefficiencies in converting sales into profit. Momentum, Com showcases exceptional stock momentum with a one-year price performance soaring 303%, starkly outperforming the sector decline of -6%. Earnings revisions are promising, with 4 upward EPS revisions and only 1 downward in the last 3 months, suggesting analysts have a positive outlook on Com's future earnings potential. All right, so that looks overall favourable. We can just put that into some visual representation. Revisions A, momentum A+, profitability is D+ at the moment. Growth, not growing, but valuation B, improving. Valuation is improving. Hold, no one's saying buy. Wall Street are saying a sell. That's interesting. Latest news on the stock. Their latest file March 24th, so it's not really that relevant now. I like to look at things that are within a week. So that's just a little look. It could be one. I'd need to do a full review on it. But to answer to your question, Daniel, yes, Daniel, its valuation looks pretty good. It's whether you believe in the sector. It's outperforming in certain areas of the sector. So it could be, but without further analysis, I couldn't tell you. But there, I hope that answers your question. What the next one of 7 billion. Asked me, Martyn, I would love to hear how in 2.5 years you took $5,000 buying the S&P and have the balance you have given and have the balance. Given the S&P is roughly 500 or more or share or less. Okay. 1 in 7 billion. I'm not trying to make a story that I am the greatest trader in the world and I have bought the S&P and I've grown from 5,000 without putting any money in and got to $300,000. Clearly, that's not what I've done. As I've always said to you, let me go back to here, right? Investing, you cannot use the stock market as a cash machine. You are the cash machine. What I have done is worked hard, built up a business just like everybody else watching this channel. But what I have done is I've not spent my money. I've invested it on myself, made more and more money and saved everything and invested everything. And the more money I put in and the more I buy on the dips, I never buy on the way up unless my margin was reduced, which it was a few months ago. Then I was buying on the way up, but I was buying macro dips, not just buying on the peaks all the time. I've been buying more and more and more. And because I've been investing in the S&P, which is a 25% maintenance put upon it, it's the least risky stock you can buy. 25% maintenance is the lowest level. Then Robinhood have doubled the money I can borrow. And because I've invested and I've not sold and I keep buying lower, I've managed my margin and I've used all my margin. So I've not gone from 5,000 to $300,000 by just simply trading and sitting here and like a magician. No, I've gone from 5,000 to 300,000 by using all of my cash, all of my margin, investing in myself, spending nothing, buying the dips, and amplifying that with margin. So everyone knows that. Everyone watches the show and sees how that I do that. So that's all that counts, though, because what is important as an investor is to acquire more stock for the future. That's what this is about. This is not about trading and trying to buy one day and sell another. The show is called Martyn Lucas Investor. Yes, we trade on my Roth IRA, but that's a very small part. I am a long-term investor, and my job is to earn as much money as I can, buy the macro dips, have the discipline to buy and recognize on that it's time to buy. Don't over leverage myself, get myself in a position where I'm buying at the right time. Because if I went all in on margin at the top, now I'd be heading for a margin call. But I haven't. I knew when to buy. I knew when to deploy my cash. I knew when to use margin, and I bought at the right time. So what I'm simply doing is earning money, saving it all, not spending it, buying macro dips. And because I'm buying at the right time, Robinhood then amplifies that. Now, you might say, well, anyone can just buy the stock market. Well, of course they can, but not everyone does. Anyone can use margin, but they buy at the top. They buy at the wrong time. Then they sell on the way down because they get fearful. So, yeah, anyone can do what I'm doing. I'm not doing anything special. I'm doing anything everyone can do, but I'm doing it consistently. And that's how I've now got over $300,000 invested. Not profit, invested. And what's important is not the profit today. The profit is irrelevant today. I'm not selling today. I'm buying for the future. My job right now is to build the engine. That's my business, just like all of you have a job and a business. Build the business, be disciplined, don't spend any money, live an efficient life, invest, but only buy at the right time. It's not about timing the market, but you don't want to be buying at the peaks. You want to be buying and increasing when it goes down. Buy at the right time, because if you use margin at the top and then it goes down, you're going to get margin called, right? But more importantly, have income coming in so you can always manage your risk. Because when I get paid again on the 21st of April, I will bring in all my money. If we're down at this level, Robinhood will double the money with margin and I'll buy again. That's protecting my portfolio. So other people might focus on reducing their margin. Oh my God, this is terrible. It's getting too big. I don't mind having 100 million in margin if I've got 100 million in my balance. It doesn't matter. It's the same as having $1, $1. Don't get afraid by the numbers. The principle is the same. So, but to have 100 million in margin, you've got to have 100 million you've earned in cash. And you wouldn't have that if, one, you didn't have the discipline. Two, you bought at the top with your margin. When it went down, you'd be margin called in 5 minutes. That would be bad money management. And I'd be selling on the way down. I'd be losing money. I'd be getting margin called. And you'd look at me and go, oh my God, he's losing all his money. So that's how I've got $300,000. And remember, I come from losing $30,000 on Virgin Galactic. I didn't come from winning. I come from the losing position as well. So you can add that to it as well. All right. We got Simon calling in. Did I get any more? Josh Monroe said, Trump did put sanctions on Russia, though. Thank you. I've just not seen that. So I've covered all the comments, all the questions, and all of the super chats. Let me do the last couple of comments, and I will bring in my guests. So, bought more space call options. Remember, I don't do options as well. That's another thing. I don't believe in options, because if you're using margin to buy options, you're gambling, because you have to predict a certain date, a certain price, a certain time. I don't want to do that. All I want to do is acquire more and more of the S&P and never sell. I bought space to do today and veer USA. I tried to buy more 26 and 27 calls. I love free chicken, says Platinum. There we go. We got a fan of James here in the show. Nice. At least they're getting cheaper. The more stock goes down, if I can buy them for 1 penny a contract, I'll buy 300 more. Good luck to you. I'm not an options trader. I don't give any information on options trading. It's not my field of expertise at all. Down negative 500 points. Crude oil dropping. Matador up. Hang on, what's this?
One of 7 billion donated 10 Canadian dollars through a super chat. Okay, thanks my friend. Many good reasons and advice. Timing plus margin, which scares me, seems key. Money well spent, thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. I'm really glad that made sense and so on. You know, if you're going to use margin, if you're going to use all your cash, if you're going to go all in, you have to do it with discipline. And one of our viewers who's made lots of money, Tim Rogers, will say, you know, what Martyn is doing is very scary for most people, but he has discipline. He's always said this. You've got to have structure, guys. I was sitting on my phone last night in my easy books last night, and I was going through detail, penny by penny by penny, organising where money was coming from, what bill was being paid. As I told you a few moments ago, I'm now even paying my council tax with my Robinhood card. I can tell you a year from now, every penny I've got in the bank. So it's very, very important, if you're going to be using margin, to be extremely structured, extremely disciplined, and know to the penny what you are doing. Right, let me line everyone's cameras up. We got Simon calling in. Let me just jiggle your camera about, mate. I can sort you out. Get it where you're comfortable, and I'll make it right for you. There you go, Simon. Lovely. He's driving his truck. Look at that, folks. And we've got James. Oh my God, look at the hair. Look at the hair. What about it? What about it? All right. Okay. If you want to call in, the link's in the chat. Let me know you're calling in. And thank you again for all the super chats and all the support today. I appreciate it. This is exciting, said Songs for Space. Right, let's go first of all. Alex, what's your thoughts on what I'm saying, what we're doing, what you're seeing, what you're feeling? Whatever it is you want to say.
I'd say that, especially about margin, if you remember, I was using the leverage on eToro, and thank God I didn't own any money, so I'm safe. The more I keep learning from you and from everyone about margin, the more it makes sense to use it. And as you said, you need discipline. Lots of great businesses are borrowing money, and why not? Why you shouldn't borrow money? Like, if you think about it, people, and I'm talking from experience from my country, people were taking loans to get a new car, to get a new house, to even go for holiday. To me, it sounds crazy because I'm always searching what's the ROI behind anything I can do. So for those who don't know what's the ROI, it's the return of investment. So anything you do in life should have an ROI.
I agree.
I get the perspective about having fun. I didn't grow up as a person who was partying, who was going to clubs. Yeah, I've tried. I didn't like drinking. I was always the guy, the boring person in the friends, in my group of friends. But I was also trying to make myself better. And we all are here in this earth, life, anything you want to call it. We are here to develop ourselves. No one is going to develop us. No one is going to do it for free. Now I'm going to rephrase that. And as a gold member, I only paid £23, 24, I think, something like that.
You are a gold member, yeah.
I've learned a lot, and I still believe that it's really cheap for the things that I've learned, for the debates that we have, conversations, everything. I still believe that it's kind of, you're doing it for free. And I'm not scared to tell the truth. That's my opinion. That's what I believe. Now, back to what I was saying, you are here to develop yourself. It's not going to be for free. It's not going to be easy. And I'm using a phrase in my mind every time when I'm going through something difficult in life or anything. The best things in life, they're not easy.
No, that is true.
They have to be hard to develop you.
That is true.
To reach your limits and go beyond and above and beyond.
That is true.
So, you know my strategy. You know what where I invest my money. Right now I'm 20%. I can go 50%. I have no problem. I can go 100%. No problem.
Okay.
I don't sell anything.
Hold that thought. I just want to go to my other guests. Thank you, Alex. Just called in. We've got Simon, who's out and about in his van today, by the looks of things. Simon, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Kent. I can't be on for long because apart from being a paranormal investigator, I'm also a warehouse manager, so I am at work.
Yeah, absolutely right. We're not always doing chasing ghosts. No, absolutely not. No. How do you feel this morning after market's gone down? Oh, hello. Is that a Kentucky?
Free chicken, free chicken, free chicken.
Is that a KFC?
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Everyone in America needs to go to England and see how much nicer a KFC is in England. In America, it's all oily and horrible. You'd hate it in America. It's in England, it's much healthier, even though it's fried chicken. You'd think you'd come to America and have fried chicken, it would be great. I've tried it. I love KFC is my favorite takeaway. I love KFC. In America, it's horrible. It's all oily and greasy. I can't eat it. Makes me feel sick. But I wish I could. I wish I could eat KFC. I miss fried chicken.
Anyway, going back to the point. So, I was a little bit worried.
You don't tell me when to go to the point. I tell you when to go to the point. What's all that about? Hang on a minute. Get off that. I want to say something. Go on then. Tell me, Simon.
Anyway, but what you done last night, I knew you was doing that.
Doing what?
Nobody else knew you was doing it, but I knew you was doing it.
Doing what?
Putting me in the centre.
Oh, okay then.
Anyway, let's go back to the issue here. Right. So last night I was getting a little bit worried when I saw what was going on with the stock market. But then, if you watched it on your live, you'd see that the brakes stopped it. So it braked very, very quickly. And I think this is only my opinion, but I think it's gone back down to where the bottom was again. I know the S&P went a little bit lower, but I think it's gone back down there. I reckon it'll bounce back up again.
Well, we didn't. You're talking about a circuit breaker to stop the market crashing. We didn't have that last night. There's nothing stopping it falling at the moment. That hasn't happened. You know when you get a circuit breaker, and we haven't had that, and we've gone way below that level. I just want everyone to think. I just want everyone to realize now, if you are investing, if you are in margin, whatever you're doing, I said to you last night, if it goes below the level we were at the support, it can go down 10 to 20%. And that's what's happening right now. Don't think for a minute, this is the bottom and that's it. And I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Even though I'm in margin, I am planned and structured for that. I can go down 30%. In fact, I can go down 40% and still be good. That's my very, very structured, managed margin positions. But don't think for a minute, it's gone down and now it's just going to go up again. Because if I said that on my channel, it wouldn't be true, and two, it'd be irresponsible because 75,000 people are watching me, and even though it's not my fault what they do with their money, what you do with your money is your money, and I'm not your financial advisor. This is entertainment. I don't want to be telling people, yeah, that's the bottom, don't worry, you can buy it, because no, it can go down 10% from here, Simon, and if it goes down 10 or 20%, are you okay with that?
I've got money put to one side, so like I'm quite.
But
lucky.
if it goes down 20%, are you going to get margin called?
If it goes down a little bit more than it is at the moment, I could be margin alerted, not margin called.
What are you? So you're in margin. What are you in? What stock are you in?
I'm in a little bit in Mobex, but a lot of it in space.
So you've got margin on space.
I've got two. So I've got trading 212.
Okay.
I'm nowhere near margin on trading 212. I've also got plus 500. Now plus 500, I bought space on the way down.
Okay, but have you got? I just want to know, have you got space on margin?
In plus 500.
You have.
Yeah.
What is your leverage? What have you? 2 times leverage, 3 times? How much margin have you used to buy space?
I've just tipped into it. So, but as I said, I've got money sitting, waiting to put into it again. So if it crashes lower, then I can put more money in to protect my margin.
Yeah. Well, I can't sit here and not do the right thing. The right thing is don't use margin for any individual stock. Don't use margin for a speculative stock that hasn't made any money yet. That's what you're doing right now.
Oh, yeah, I'm gambling.
Yeah, you are. And that's good. You know that. That's fine. Some people love that. They love the feeling of it. They want to take the gamble. They want to throw margin at Binky Bunk coin, and that's fine. That's what they want to do. But if you're calling into my show, I want to respond to that, and just because thousands of people are watching all around the world and going, "Oh, he's buying margin to I'm going to do it." I'm just going to say you might end up winning. Probably you will. But I just want everyone to realise that's a very risky play. Massive rewards though. It's like buying a lottery ticket. Chances are you're not going to win, but if you do, you win big, right? So it's the same thing. And you're aware of that and you're happy with that.
And I am happy with that. And
fair enough.
As I said, I've got more money that I can use in plus 500 so that I can come out of margin.
Okay.
But at the moment, I've come down to the margin level.
Okay.
It started to, in fact, it hasn't alerted me because it's gone back up a little bit. But if it goes down, it starts to alert me. I can put money into it more
right.
to get me out of margin.
So just give me an idea, right? So what times leverage? Let's make it simple. If you put $100 of your own money into SPCE and then you use $100 of margin, that's 2x, right? You've doubled it, right? Or 1x, okay? You've used $100. Is that the sort of ratio you've done, or have you put 100 of your own in and used 400 of the bank's money? What sort of percentage have you done?
At the moment, I've put in £4,000.
Okay.
Into the trading.
Okay. And how much margin have you used on that?
I haven't really used the margin at the moment. It's just short of using it. So at the moment, all the money that I've put in is what I've put in. I've not used the margin.
Right, so you've not used margin on Virgin Galactic then?
It slightly went into margin calling me.
Well, hang on. It can't go into margin if you've not bought any shares on if you've not used margin. I don't know what you mean.
Well, I don't really know what you mean.
Okay.
I put money.
Is all your cash spent and you're now using the brokerage's money?
Most of my cash is not quite spent.
Right. If you've got a brokerage and you put well, obviously you've got a brokerage. Everyone has a brokerage. You've got a brokerage to buy stocks and shares. You put cash in. You can't go into margin until you've used all your cash. So if you're using your money,
I haven't used all my cash yet.
Right. Well, you're not in margin then.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
But if it's not, what I'm trying to say is, if it starts to go lower, then it will possibly take me to the point where I'll start going into margin. So I have got money sitting to one side that I can put some more money into it.
Okay. Promise me you won't use margin.
Well, I don't want to use margin.
No, I don't use margin. It's low enough. If it goes lower, if Virgin Galactic goes 20 cents, it's not a deal. It's bankrupt. It can't go any lower. Well, of course it can, but it's so low that it's undervalued and all the rest of it. If this isn't good enough, if this isn't cheap enough, it will never be cheap enough, right? If it goes lower and lower and lower, and just don't keep buying it. You've heard the phrase "catch a falling knife." Don't just keep buying it. You can buy the S&P lower and lower and lower because it ain't going bankrupt. It can't go bankrupt. It's going to go back up again. But an individual stock that hasn't yet made any money, it's already, remember, it was once upon a time $70. It's old school, old money. So it's 20, divide what today's price is by 20. It's original value. It's pennies. It's already cheap for looking at the value of the cash, the value of the assets, and so on and so forth, right? If it goes lower, that isn't a signal to you to buy more. One of my biggest investors with millions, who I talk to in England, millions of shares of Virgin Galactic, has stopped buying. He bought it at $4 or $5, double where it is today. He's not buying it. It's cheap enough. He's not throwing more money at it. It's called catch a falling knife. That's the phrase people use. So don't ever use margin to buy an individual stock. I mean, I'm not giving you financial advice, but I'm just trying to help you, right? That would be, I mean, that's just the risk to reward is so insane. It's so high risk. It's like walking on a tightrope and you've set fire to the rope. You might get off, but the likelihood is getting extremely unlikely. So buy it, you bought it, you invested in it, you bought a good price. If it goes lower, that's not a signal just to keep buying more and more and more. Because if it goes to 20 cents, nobody wants it.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm not buying any more. So I've got 7,600 shares,
right,
and that's it.
Right.
So if it goes lower, I'm just going to maybe put some more money in to protect my 7,600 shares.
How does that protect your shares?
Well, if it keeps going lower, then I start to lose.
Let me explain this to you. This is really important. A lot of people fall into this trap. If you buy here and it goes lower, people think, I'm going to protect myself because I'm going to lower my average. I'm going to buy here, right? That's what you're thinking, isn't it? You're buying it lower, so it brings your average down. It protects you. That's what you're saying, right?
No, I bought here.
Yeah.
Right.
If it goes lower,
So
you buy lower.
No, I bought here. So now if it goes lower,
right? Yeah.
And I don't do nothing, eventually I'll get margin called.
Well, you won't because you're not using margin.
Yeah, I know I'm not using margin, but eventually if I run out of money, what happens when I run out of money?
Nothing. Just to stop buying it.
Well, I'm not buying it anymore.
if we're confusing each other here. If you buy it and it goes lower, nothing happens unless it goes bankrupt. You don't lose any money until you sell. If the value of the shares goes down, nothing happens other than the value of your shares has gone down. Nothing happens. You don't have to buy just because it's going lower. You won't get margin called because you didn't borrow any money to buy it. You've said that. You've used your own cash. So your stock can go down to nothing. When it goes to nothing, it goes bankrupt. But 1 cent above nothing, you've still got all the same shares. You've not lost any of your 7,500 shares. Okay? What you don't do is if you bought here and it starts going down, you don't just buy to protect yourself, because what you've done is you've bought shares at this price. They're a separate trade from what's up here. What's up here is still down. You haven't fixed it just because you've lowered your average. These shares, which is your lot, they call them lots, are still at that price. So if I sell to you a can of Coke for $1 and you pay $1 for a can of Coke, right? And you own a can of Coke from me, you paid $1, and then 6 months later I say, Alex, yes, I'll see your hand, I'll come to you after this.
Sorry, I forgot it.
Huh?
I forgot my hand up.
Right, okay. If you then buy another can of Coke from me for 50 cents, you haven't lowered the price of the first one. The one you paid for $1 still cost you $1. And at some point when you sell it, you want to sell it for more than $1, otherwise you've made no money. The one you bought for 50 cents, when that goes to $1, you can make a profit. But you don't protect yourself by just lowering the averages and buying lower because it's all going lower, and that's a good idea. Not necessarily. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay,
good. Okay. I just don't want you listen to what you're saying and how you're saying it. Again, and I'm not giving financial advice, but as your friend, listening to you, you're calling in my show, you're one of my Lucasades. I'm saying I wouldn't use margin, in other words, borrowed money, to buy any speculative individual stock. Any individual stock, even, any individual stock, especially a speculative one that hasn't got a guaranteed future. Okay?
Okay.
You've got enough shares. 7,500 is loads of shares. Right? You've got loads of shares. If that goes up to $10, you're going to be rich. Don't worry about it. Don't buy any more. You're okay. Is there anything
if if that goes up to $10, I'm staying in for the long haul. I'm waiting for it to go up higher.
Okay. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, hang on.
David Hensley has become a member. Martyn, does he understand what is margin?
No. Well, this is why we're having this conversation. I think he does now. He's not in margin. He's not used the brokerage's money. He's used his own money. He owns the shares. That's a great position to be in. All he's got to do is hold it. David, I think we're good. But what I would be doing, again, Simon, and this is not me telling you what you should do. I'm not your financial advisor, whatever. But if you bought around about the $2, $3, where we are now, and then it goes to $10, why not sell 50%? Why not sell 25%? Take some profit. Why wouldn't you do that?
Right. So technically, as I said to you, I've got 2 trading accounts.
Right.
So trading 212 is my pension,
Right.
you could say. So that's my long term.
Right.
And plus 500 is what I will probably sell when it's about between $8 and $10.
Okay. So you will sell some on the way up then?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah. It's a good idea. You can't lose money by making profit. No one ever went bankrupt at making money, right? So, yeah, absolutely. And the beautiful thing about it is once you start making money, if you take some profit off the table, you've got extra money to buy when it goes down again. You'll get more shares. So you'll win. So it's always worth taking some profit. Unless you've got
take money off.
Sorry?
So I was going to say, if I take money off the table in plus 500, I was going to put some in 212 and buy some more Mobex.
Okay. But it doesn't matter which account it's on and whether you've got 1 account, 10 account, 2 accounts. That's not that. Oh, hang on. What's this?
Daniel Campbell donated $5 through a super chat. If I'm not wrong, plus 500 only lets you use margin, as in you have to use margin.
As in you have to use margin. Daniel, I don't understand exactly what you're saying there. Do you want to rephrase that? You don't use margin until you use your cash. That's just a universal thing. You don't borrow money when you've got cash. And if there is a brokerage which allows a separate, maybe there does. But at the end of the day, we've established that Simon is not using margin. He's not using borrowed money. He's using his own money. And all I'm suggesting is he doesn't borrow money to buy a single speculative asset, because that's extremely, extremely risky. Because anything can happen. Look at what's happening today to the S&P. Look what's happened to everything. Everything's being sold off. Everything's now oversold. Everything's going crazy. You can't control that. But for an index, it comes back. It can't possibly go away. Whereas an individual stock, if it goes down too low, it can't raise finances. It can't pay its debts. It can't borrow any money from anybody. No one's going to lend them any money. They run out of cash. They go bankrupt. We saw Virgin Orbit go bankrupt live on the show, and it was doing well. It just had a crash which cost them money, and they ran out of money because the investors wouldn't give them any more money, and the whole business went down the toilet. And it technically was succeeding, and it was doing a good thing, but it ran out of money. So you don't want to be left holding the bag when it runs out of money. Alex, are you trying to say something? You keep moving your hand.
Yeah, I keep doing calculations. Sorry, it reminds me my situation with eToro, and I need to ask that. Simon, if you allow me, how many shares do you have of SPCE? Because I think eToro, it didn't allow you to hold shares for more than a year. So you don't own them. It's kind of like a trading up. And I think plus 500 and 212 are the same. So you can use leverage, or however you pronounce it, and it multiplies your money. So if you put 1,000, for example, I did it with NVIDIA, I could put 1,000 cash, and I could multiply it by 5 times. So that would make my money 5,000, and I could buy more shares. So the multiply is basically it allows you to gain a lot of profit, but it allows you to also lose a lot of money. So I was trying to calculate did you say 7,000 something shares?
Yes.
And you use 4,000 pounds, right?
No, on plus 500, I've got 4,500 shares. I've used about £4,000. So yeah, I see what you mean. On trading 212, I've got £10,000 in there, and I've got 3,500.
So if I just calculated it really fast, the 7,000 shares, if you put 4,000 pounds, it would be something for about 4,600 something dollars, or 8,000, let's say. That would mean you bought SPC for $1.7 something, $1.70. So I
Right.
think it is leveraged.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
I tell you what we're going to do, because we don't want to go on. We don't want to confuse the listeners. We don't want to confuse Simon. Simon knows exactly what he's got. I appreciate what you're trying to do, Alex, trying to help him. I do. I think the best thing to do is to say this. Simon, look at your account, because so far, we're fine. Virgin Galactic is 279. It's all good. Just, if you're not sure, speak to your brokerage. Are you in margin? Have you used their money to buy the stock? And if you have, consider using your cash to pay that off. That's not, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just simply saying I wouldn't use borrowed money to buy this asset. Especially now with what Trump has done. Because remember, and this is important, right? Virgin Galactic bringing parts in from all over the world. So their cost of making their rockets has just gone through the roof. Everything that we've done so far, calculated, and how Virgin Galactic is going to be profitable, has just gone down the toilet. Because they don't make everything in Virgin down there in New Mexico. They don't make anything. They bring parts in from all over the world. Those parts have just gone through the roof.
That's true.
Yeah, that is very true. And expensive parts as well. So 25% when you're buying rocket parts probably just got really expensive. So you need to calculate that. So if you're not sure, speak to your broker. I'm sure there's a helpline. Am I in margin? If you're not sure, have I used your money? And if you have, pay it off. And then hold the shares, sell the shares. It's up to you. But don't use borrowed money to buy a single stock, especially with what we've got going on now. I said it last night, and it's happening live right now. Didn't I say last night the stock would go down 10%? Look, 10%. It could go down 20% today. Now, if it goes down 20%, it's going to be a buying frenzy, because that will be the bottom. Now, the bottom was already in, but now we've had everything reset because what Trump's done. We've got a new bottom. 20% down from here will be the bottom. No doubt about it. Otherwise, we're going into a depression. We're going into major correction, major crashes then. And there's no reason for that, because GDP is good, employment is good, rates are coming down, inflation's coming down. You don't go into a total meltdown with all the other things good. This is purely because of Trump and everyone selling everything. But at some point, it gets so oversold, the money that's sat on the sidelines goes by, woomph, and it goes straight up. So if you're okay with it going down 20, 30%, that's fine. But you got to be prepared. I'm telling everybody, that's what's happening live right now. That's what can happen right now. So just bear that in mind. When we're Virgin Galactic, it can go down 80, 90%. Just because it's already down 90% from where it was, wherever it is today, it can always go down 90%. You go, how's it possible? It can go 90% down every single day forever until it's zero. It can always go down 90% every single day. So, their prices have gone through the roof. Their expenses have gone through the roof. And that's okay if you own the stock and it goes down. Do what you want. Buy more, don't sell it when it goes up, whatever. But if you're borrowing money, you amplify the speed it goes down. That's what margin does. It amplifies it up and it amplifies it down. So, you're pouring on gas and, you're setting fire to it up or down. It amplifies it. Is that good? Are we at a good?
Yep, that's cool.
Okay, cool, mate.
Well, I've got to go because
All right.
I've got to go back to work.
I wish you the very best of luck, and we're with you. Call in any time, ask me anything, reply to a comment, and I'll always be here for you. But good luck. Speak to your brokerages. Thanks for calling in, mate.
Okay.
Cheers. Brilliant. Okay, we've got James. What do you make of all that? Oh, I've muted you. Let me just unmute you a second. There you go. There was a bit of background noise. What do you make of that, James?
I got a headache. I have a big headache. I don't do margin. And when I don't do it, and then I hear somebody explain something like that, it's like if I don't know about it, it's
the golden rule is if you don't fully understand it, don't do anything.
Don't play with it.
Sit on your hands. That's one thing that people do often because you can trade. People do trade. Just invest, understand. If you don't understand it, either learn about it or don't do it. And he wasn't fully aware of margin and how it works. So I hope by that conversation he's going to be in a better position by the end of the day.
So what do I think about everything that's going on right now? The day after after the hangover here, I'm a little concerned right now because more so I'm retired and I'm looking at my 401k and I'm looking at the market right now and the market hasn't even opened and we're already 1,500 points down.
What do you mean the market hasn't opened? The market's open?
Daniel Campbell donated $2 Australian through a super chat. So the plus 500 only allows to buy with margin.
Where am I at? See, I got a hangover.
Yeah, the market's well and truly open, mate. It's 10 o'clock.
So we're 1,500 down right now. So that's a concern for my 401k. I ran into this. I think it was back in 2018 when there was a pretty big crash down there, and it took a lot out of my 401k. And then again, it's just you've lost it. Okay, you lost it, and you keep going and you build back up, and hopefully. But now being 1,500 points down, that concerns me. I'm usually cheerful, but I'm a little concerned there because that's my livelihood from here on out. But we have a good savings. That was one thing I did do when I was working and everything is put in a good savings, and if I need to invest. Now, since everything's down, again, I remember beat the street, Peter, all in. Then go all in on it once it's down 10%. So I'm thinking about that to try to boost things, but it is what it is. We knew it was going to happen. We knew the whole world was going to. React to it, and it wasn't. I mean, I looked at the market overnight in Tokyo, of course, in Europe and everything, and it really wasn't. It almost makes me feel that if I go back to the last tariff announcement, it's about the same. It's just very frustrating. It's very exhilarating, because again, it gets to the point where I say, well, do I just tone everything out for a while, turn everything off, and then come back in? But again, you'll probably sit there and say, well, Jim, you're going to miss opportunities. So, but sometimes you just got to just sit back and just say, hey, I need to get away from it for at least a day and then come back in.
Absolutely. This isn't for everyone. And if you can't take the heat right now and it's going to get a lot hotter quickly, you need to get out of the kitchen. All right. There's nothing weak about that or well, I don't want to miss out. If you haven't got the stomach for this, you need to be out because you'll make the wrong decisions. You'll do the wrong thing. You'll chase. This is brutal. And I feel very sorry for anyone today living on a pension who's just starting to cash out their pension. It's being destroyed. If you've just finished your work, you've got no income, you're now relying on your pension, you haven't got money sitting in the bank, you're cashing in your 401k, whatever. You don't want to be cashing it in today, do you? You don't want to be selling it today. It's terrible. But this is going to... It's such a shame. I wish I was wrong. Last night I said, don't buy, guys. This is going to fall off a cliff. And it is. And I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. But it's 20%. And I can live with that. It's going to be...
But the good thing is,
if you can't,
I mentioned to you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the good thing is I'm like deferred retired. And the point is, I still get money. Remember my free chicken till the end of December from the government. So I'm not feeling that bad. And I do know too, just a FYI, there's a second round of DPR that they just put out on Monday. So there's going to be a lot of more people in the government that are probably taking this, and there's going to be quite a few that unemployment rate's probably going to be up a little bit. So FYI, they just sent out another round of DPR, free chicken, so to speak. But they're only going to do that until September. I got it for December. So at least, it went down, okay, but I'm still employed technically until December. So I'm not feeling, crazy bad. It's just, I think I'm going to step back for probably a day.
Yeah.
And just
recalculate.
I'm not tired or anything. It's just frustrating.
I know it's horrible. I'm not enjoying it. No one's enjoying it. This is extremely difficult.
Matter of fact, I just made a buy.
What have you just bought?
Huh?
What have you just bought?
XRP.
You bought some more XRP. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go to the comments in the chat. You can stand by if you wish to. I'd love to have you stay on the line. If anybody else wants to call in, please call in. I just want to go to the comments. So guys, let's look at this. Let me just show you again what we've been saying. We said today the market will go down 10%. It's exactly what's happening. It could go down to 20%. If you can't take that pain, I'm sorry, but that's what's coming. Okay. I can't sugarcoat it. It is what it is. Don't be in margin on single stocks. We've also got, I said to you, Coca-Cola was that last year, all last year. Coca-Cola was the stock to be in. You may remember on my Roth IRA, I sold my S&P. I bought Coca-Cola. I made profit. I said this was the stock to own this year, and even more so now. I said J&J yesterday was a buy on that news for the talcum powder. I told you it was oversold. How many people followed that? I hope they did. I said it's going to go $200. It's going to $200. There is your defensive stock. There it is, right there. Tesla had a pop this morning, this news around Elon Musk, but it's not going to save the stock right now. Too many people are against Tesla and everything else. McDonald's, land. You cannot overpay for land. Google being punished. Microsoft being punished. Nvidia, it's approaching its $100. Now, the $100 was our target. It's at 102. But if it breaks the 100 and it sends more fear, which it will, if it breaks the 100, it's $80. I wish I could give you good news, guys, but this is not. This is difficult. People that bet on Tilray. How many people bet on Tilray? I said, get out of Tilray. When we were running for election, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were very pro rescheduling. People said, then Donald Trump said, I'm going to reschedule. He did it because they were doing it and it was great. I'm going to do that. Vote for me. I'm doing that. I told you, and I spoke to people directly from the press room, there's no backing from the government to back this. They're not interested in it. Not saying they won't, but there's no interest in it now. And now they've got so many things to worry about. Tilray Brands and rescheduling is so down on the list, no one cares. This could go bust waiting. It's a shame. It was a $40 stock, but with no one behind it, it's terrible. Now, Robinhood, what a buy for Robinhood. I bought this at $8. One of my favorite stocks. When the stock market rebounds, so will Robinhood, right? This is a buy on Robinhood. 12%. Now, why has that gone down 12%? Because people are going to get out of the market. Retail investors are getting out. This is called capitulation. There's money on the sidelines about to take all of your money. Everyone's selling out. Why anyone is selling now is beyond me. You've had 3 months to sell on the way down. Why on earth are you selling now? It's crazy. But if you're selling now, you're giving it to somebody else. People are going to come in and start to buy this. I owned this at $8, sold it at $40 when I got out of the when I got into S&P. $40 was our target. Oh, IonQ. Well, it's good that's going down because that was so expensive. It was ridiculous anyway. Rocket Lab. Way too expensive. That's going down. Plug Power. This is the biggest fail. This is the biggest. We've traded this. How many times did we trade this at 195 to 250? How many times on the show? 195, take 220, 230, 240. Get out. Every time. Don't hold it. Get out. Take the money in and out. Now it's 121. People think, oh, it's a good buy. No, it's not, because we don't know what Trump's going to do with this whole sector. So Plug Power is a very dangerous stock to own. They can't raise money. Their debts are spiraling. That whole industry could be wiped out. That would be a terrible shame. The biggest losers, though, are crypto and XRP. I've got to say this. We've said this now over and over again. In fact, I need to make a second video. I'll do this because I know some XRP people will want this. Let me make, I'm so frustrated. I think that's the key word. I think James said it. Frustration. Frustration. That is it right there. Okay. Let's talk about it. Frustration. Let me bring this in. XRP. The word of the day has to be frustration. Frustration in the day before, the night, morning after, the week before. No one knows. Confusion, chaos everywhere. We covered it last night. We've been covering it all morning. The markets are in free fall. I said to you that if we broke the support last night, it would go down 10, 20%. That's where we're going. If you don't like the heat, don't be in the kitchen right now. It's going to get very painful for a lot of people. People on their 401ks getting wiped out, margin call wiped out, capitulation everywhere. We've seen Robinhood go down today. That's retail investors voting with their feet there, telling you they don't want to be in the market at all. But the reason why I'm mentioning XRP and why this is an XRP video, because I've got so many people who are interested in XRP. This is the most speculative of all. Crypto, whether you are Bitcoin, whether you are whatever you are, I wouldn't be in any of this right now. Don't see this as an opportunity to buy. Everything has changed. Everything that we know has changed. And in my opinion, and it's only my opinion, I've been right on, nearly all the things so far. Speculative stocks right now is not what you want to be in. I told everybody that last year the best stock to be in was Coca-Cola. Over and over again, you saw me trade it on my Roth IRA. I sold my S&P to buy Coca-Cola. You saw me do that. I took the profit. This is a defensive stock. This is important, guys. Don't switch off if you're XRP. I know all you want to hear is XRP going up, but you've got to understand what's going on. I said the best stock you can own is J&J. The talcum powder situation went away yesterday. They can now pay off their debts. They've already planned to do it. They were just waiting and waiting. It's a terrible game that they were playing, but they played it. It went down. I said, you must buy it now. It's popped straight back up, and it's going to $200. But that's what's happening with the economy, right? You need to be aware of that. But if we look at, where's my little button gone? There we go. If we look at XRP right now, It's down under $2. We've said over and over again, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when this sector goes down 50% again. Way more than the S&P is going to do. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when now. So just be careful. It's not a time to just load up on margin. It's not a time to think, well, I can just buy it cheap. Remember what this does. It doesn't make any money. It doesn't support itself. XRP can go down to 10 cents. I know you don't want to hear that. I know people don't want to hear that. They don't like me saying these things, and maybe by now you've already switched off. But at the end of the day, it's not my responsibility what you do. I don't give financial advice. I'm not here to, do that. But I do care. And I'm spot on my analysis and reviews over and over again. Not because I know more, it's just because I tell the truth and I see it how it is. And I also get information directly from those that influence the stocks, the hedge fund managers, the CEOs, and so on and so forth. We have got now a whole set of rules. Now, I think it's going to end very well. That's why I bought more of the S&P last night. I do think it's going to end well for everyone. But we're going to go for a period of pain. And it might be quite short, actually. Over the weekend, deals are going to be done. On Monday morning, things are going to look very, very different. But if you are in XRP right now, or any crypto, don't use margin to buy it. Don't use leverage to buy it. Don't ever say it's cheap. Cheap means it's undervalued. And when I say undervalued, it earns you so much money. So in other words, if something makes you $10 and it's $5, that's cheap. Because it earns you $10 and you can buy it for $5. That's cheap. Remember, nothing on this board is cheap today. It's just sold today. That's all that means. Sentiment is, I don't want to own anything. And everyone was pro everything a minute ago. Everybody who owned every one of these meme coins was, oh, it's the greatest in the world. I own the best crypto in the world. Binky bonk fart coin. I know what I'm doing. Well, if you know what you're doing, why the hell have you sold it? Because you don't. And the reality is, it doesn't have any value. What has value is the banks that use the networks. XRP Ripple, when we get a Ripple IPO, we buy it. We want to own that. That makes money. Everything else, no matter how bullish or bearish you are, it is just speculative. That's it. And in an economy and in a situation where we've got uncertainty and we've got no one knowing what we're doing anymore, and we've got countries going against you, you don't want to be in speculative stocks. You don't want to be in speculative assets. And that's why everyone is selling today. Because they know deep down there's no value. XRP and Bitcoin and all this stuff shouldn't have gone down today if people really believed in it.
John Ola has become a member.
But they don't. Thank you, John Ola. But they don't. If they really believed in it, why would you sell it at this level? You sell it at the top. We're selling it at the bottom. That's crazy. This tells you everything you need to know. People say they're bullish. People say they buy the dips, but they don't, and they're not. I have been doing that. I have been buying the dips. I have been doing what I'm saying. Look, there is my S&P. Only this morning I bought. I knew it was going to go down. I'm all in margin. Look, 2 shares again this morning at 502. We're now at 496. Should I have waited? No. Well, you're going to go, well, why? If you'd waited, you'd have got a better deal. It's already undervalued. I know it's going down further, but I'm not going to wait to buy it when it's already the right price for me. That is the very definition of an investor that understands the value of what I'm buying. It's already cheap enough for me. I am not like all of these crypto investors over here dumping everything because they don't know what they bought in the first place. Today is a very, very scary day, and I can feel it. I got people calling in and messaging me who are losing their 401ks. People are already around the world today losing their jobs. And remember, there are people in developed countries today really feeling the pain. And I'll mention Vietnam today. Factories closing with immediate effect. People today are feeling pain. So if your Bitcoin or XRP's gone down, that was money you hopefully didn't need anyway. There are people literally losing their homes, their jobs, their businesses, and there will be people today, sadly, taking the ultimate steps as well. That always happens. So just remember, no matter how bad you feel, there's somebody feeling a lot worse. You need to know what you own. You need to be an investor. This is not a time to trade. You cannot trade this because there's too much unknown, too much uncertainty. I wish everyone the very, very best. We've told you over and over again until we're blue in the face. We gave you the buy zones and the sell zones for XRP multiple times. Multiple times we said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when it goes down 50%. People don't want to hear it. People unsubscribe when I say it, but I don't care. I'm doing what's right. I'm trying to help people. We told you where the money was going in defensives. Coca-Cola, J&J said the market would sell off after that pump last night. This isn't because I'm smarter than anyone else. It's because I just talk to the people that tell me what's going on and I tell you the truth. And I don't do videos that is to get you to love me because I'm saying we're all going to get rich and buy the bottom because we're all going to get rich. Look at the value. And that's why I bought the S&P today. I know it's going down another 10%, but I'm buying it because all of a sudden people are going to start buying it and it's going to go up. And I'm in. I'm all in. I'm all in with all my money on all my margin. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Please be careful. Whatever you do from this moment on, start considering the value of what you actually own. And I'm going to make it as simple as possible. And please don't switch off. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but just so many people don't think of this. Like I said before, value is everything. If I had a can of Coke and it was $1 in every supermarket around the world and I sold it to you for 50 cents, that is undervalued because you know it's worth $1. It provides you with $1 of refreshment and it's the going price. You know that's what it's worth. And it provides you with a service. It will refresh you to the value of $1. Everyone pays $1 for a can of Coke. You can buy it for 50 cents. You've got value. You know it's worth more. Anything speculative that doesn't have a value, it's just a trend, has no value.
Jerry and Elba donated $5 through a super chat. God bless you. Thank you for always looking out for us.
You're very welcome, Jerry and Elba. I feel everyone's pain today. It really is upsetting. I know there are many, many people today losing everything. You haven't lost everything. You've not lost nothing until you sell. It will come back. It will come back. Speculative assets might not. A lot of the Russell, I've said it over and over again, 80% of the Russell in 4 or 5 years will not exist. There are great companies that were once leaders of the S&P that no longer exist. So many of the Russell won't. Most crypto will be gone in 10 years. 90% of what exists today in crypto will be gone in 10 years. We'll be left with XRP, I think, for the network. We'll be left with Bitcoin. Most of it will be gone. So why even try to guess which one is going to be the best player? Be an investor, know what you own, and understand what you own, and you'll be fine. Even then, it's not nice. Do you think I enjoy looking at my portfolio and seeing it down $24,000 in 3 months? No, I bloody well don't. However, all the way down here, I've been focusing on earning money on YouTube, not spending it, investing it, buying undervalue. And the more and more it goes undervalued, the more I buy. I'm not fearful. I understand it, but it is uncomfortable. I wish everyone the best. I really do. Click above my head for all the links. Down below in the description. No, I am here every day. You can call into the show. Ask me everything. You're not on your own. I will answer every one of my members' questions. I hope you get through and you'll join me tomorrow. Over here and over here, I'll put more videos you'll find useful. Take care of yourselves and each other. All right. Bloody hell. Let's go through our comments and then we'll... what time was that? That was 10 o'clock, wasn't it? 10 o'clock XRP. I put that out. Here we go. RB. Are you calling in, RB? Yes, I've been waiting to talk to you. RB, I'm so pleased RB is calling in. I've been waiting to speak to RB. He asked me a question on Discord, on YouTube somewhere, on a comment or whatever, and I said, call in. At least I hoped I did. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I can't remember now. But I'm really glad you've called in. Let me just zoom in so I can see you a little bit. You want a very small camera there. Let me just switch that around. There you go.
Sorry, I'm in my car.
That's all right, Meg. Don't you worry about that. Right. You asked me a question about the margin situation. You've used some margin. It's gone down further. Bloody awful. Yep. I'm with you. I bought some more this morning as well. And you were saying, I think the comment was something along the lines of, how do I make sure the money I put in goes onto margin and clears the margin first? When you are in Robinhood and you've spent all your cash, that's the only time you can be in margin. Okay, so you're now in margin. You're down you've used $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, whatever you've used. You look on your buying power and you can see that you're in margin because because you not put any money in, right? You're whatever. When you put money in, the money that goes in straight away, immediately reduces your margin. It doesn't go into cash or anything. There's no cash until the margin is zero again. So when you're in margin, any money you put in just goes to reduce the margin. So at the moment, I'm using all my cash is gone. I'm spending all the money I can with their money, the bank's money, the brokerage's money, margin. Until my margin is paid off, every penny I put in is just paying off and just bringing the margin back up. And when it gets to zero, then I go $1 and now that's my money again. So you can't, it doesn't go somewhere else. It all goes on. If you think about the principal, when you go to the bank and say, I want my money to pay off the principal of the mortgage, that's essentially what happens. When you put money in, that's the only place it can go, is to reducing the margin. And what it does, you will notice, and I see it all the time, when I put in $1,000, I've suddenly got $2,000 more buying power because I've put another 1,000 in. So Robinhood gives me another 1,000 because I've given them 1,000. So I've reduced my risk. So they double it. Right. Okay. But I'm still using their money. And even though I put 1,000 in, I'm not using my money. Because of my money, I get more money. So overall, I'm just using our money, but I'm using their money until it's zero. Does that make sense?
Yes, I believe it does. So yeah, if I put in I'm sitting here level right now on my margin, I'm maxed out with it. So if I put $1,000 in today, it's going to bring my margin down, and I could really, if I'm hearing you right, I could take that $1,000 and borrow it again and buy 2 more stocks.
Yes. If you put another $1,000 in, let's say Robinhood, you got $5,000, Robinhood gave you $5,000, you've spent your $5,000, you've used $5,000 of margin, so you're maxed out on the margin, all your cash is gone because you've used margin, you've used $5,000 of theirs, you've got no more buying power. Your buying power says zero, right? Now you don't want to keep it on zero because when they charge you for the interest, you've got to have money to pay the interest. All right.
Yeah, so I apologize.
Yeah, you can't.
It's got some in there.
Yeah, you can't keep it at zero because when they charge you, $1, they'll say you got a margin call. But you haven't. You just got to sell something or put $1 in, right? But anyway. Right. So if you've gone 5,000, that technically you've used it all. So today you put 1,000 in. You've now got 4,000. You've used 4,000 of margin because you've reduced it by 1,000. But because you've added another 1,000. They've increased the amount of margin you can get. They've given you 2,000. So you've now got 6,000, 7,000 available. You'll see it
So
when
I
you put it
think
in. It updates it daily. It updates it straight away. So what I do is when we're going down and down and down like this, and undervalued, most importantly, not price action, but undervalued, I'm buying. And when I bought more this morning, when it went down, my actual maintenance line improved, even though we're going down, because I'm not just focusing on cash and paying my margin off. No. When it goes down, I want to be buying more. Right. So because I put money in and then they matched it and then I spent it on the S&P, which is a good asset. It doesn't work if you do Binky Bonk coin. It goes the other way. The margin goes through the roof, right? Your margin call limit gets raised really quickly. I don't think you can even use margin to buy Binky Bonk anyway, I'm just saying. But anything with a bad risk, okay? But the moment I did that, my risk went from, I'm going to see if I've got it here now. It went from 32 to 35%. It actually went up because I bought more lower. So technically, I've kind of made my portfolio safer because I bought more at a lower level. I'm buying at a lower level, so I've actually protected myself. The day for paying it off will come when it starts going up, but I can only do that because I've got money coming in. You've got to be able to cover the interest, and you've got to be able to continue to buy. Well, I've got money. If you haven't got money coming in, you shouldn't be using margin anyway. If you've got no income, you shouldn't be using margin because you've got nothing to service any of it. You just shouldn't be doing it. But yeah, the moment you put money in, it's paying off the margin straight away. It's calculated daily. You can look on your app and it will say you're now being charged 7 cents a day or whatever you've borrowed. For me, it's about $25, all right, a day. And it tells you that. And it updates once the stock settles. So if you buy something today, it might take 2 or 3 days for it to show up. And it'll go up and down. And as you start paying the margin off, it will go, you're paying 25, now you're paying 23, now you're paying 22. And when the rates come down, which they're going to come down now, you'll see it drop as well.
Okay, that's very educational. It's more about, and again, it comes to your discipline when you tell people, because if you want to pay you can use margin, which I did. I use my max margin, all right, to buy VOO. And if I want to be disciplined, I will pay that off before I purchase again, or I can. If I start paying that margin, I'm hearing you. They kind of encourage you to. They want you to use that because you're paying them interest. They want you to buy it back.
Well, of course they do.
Yeah.
I mean, what it all comes down to is, am I going to make more by owning the asset than I am paying the interest? Well, I'm not buying the S&P to make 5%. We are so low now that we could have a 30% bounce from here once the tariffs get sorted out, which they will. They won't remain like this. Well, it's cost me 5.25. That's in a year, not in a day, in a year. What if we bounce 30% in the next 3 months?
Right.
Well, it's a simple calculation. And over the period of time, because I own more stocks, I'm going to earn more dividends. I'm trying to get my dividends to cover my interest payments. And then when I get paid on the 21st of April again, another few weeks, I get paid. If it's up, I'm not buying, am I? I've been buying on the way down. I just start reducing my margin, the margin. But if it's down at this level, I buy more. I just keep buying. And I said before, it's not a problem having $1 million in margin. If you've got $1 million in assets, it's the same as having $1. So, if I had $1, would I be comfortable with borrowing $1? Most people would go, well, yeah, it's only $1. It's the same principle then if you've got $1 million, borrowing $1 million, right? But you don't borrow money to go out and buy a pair of Nike shoes, which in the day you buy them, they're worth nothing. You're buying assets which are undervalued, which is going to go up. That's what, it's simple. But like our caller earlier, I wouldn't be doing it on a single stock, like any single stock. It's too risky, and especially one that doesn't make any money.
I had been, and of course, I'm like a lot of people. I'm working today, going to appointments and stuff. So I've been listening to the show as I could. So that's when I would text in, and I couldn't get into the call. So I was able to just now. But I appreciate you taking my call. And but I'm all in. I'm with you. So I get it. The cash that I put in is gonna. That you answer my question. The cash I put in will bring my margin down. But if I want to not keep it down, I'll buy stock and let it go back up and bump the top of my margin.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When whatever margin you're using now, when you put cash in or sell a stock, either way, or a dividend, either way, anything coming in will reduce the margin. Okay. And you can say to yourself, great, I'm reducing my margin, or I can use more margin now because I've just paid some off. But because I've added some more money, it gives me even more. It adds to what you can borrow.
Can I ask you this? Like, because I'm using Robinhood as well as you. So, and I think I'll have to look. They're going to take my when they do my gold membership, they'll take out my interest payment, for my margin at that time. When that happens, let's say if I'm wanting to decrease my margin instead of buying more VU, before they take this payment out, if let's say I put that $1,000 in there, when that payment comes around, will they take more than the interest, or that whole payment is in my power line, buying line? So, all right.
Rephrase that, sorry.
Okay, so like, let's just say my account gets debited the 15th of every month for my margin, interest.
Yeah,
and
that's correct.
Okay. So on the 14th, I know it's going to get debited on the 15th, so I got to have money in my account there, right? So let's say I put $1,000 in there on the 15th. Are they only going to take what the margin interest is, or will they take all that's in there to go? You know what I'm saying? Does it automatically just pull it?
They charge you daily, right? It's calculated daily, what you own every single day, how much margin you're using today, the interest today is whatever it might be. So they calculate every day. You can go in that and you can see it every day. It goes up, and it also tells you what your daily interest is as well in the margin settings. If you put money in today on the day they charged you,
will they take all that out? You understand? Will they everything is in the buying power? Do they just take that? And then that would reduce my margin, or do they only bill you like for your $5 a month Robinhood Gold and your margin interest?
I'm not sure what you mean by take the money. They will when they charge you interest, they just add that to your balance because you're using margin. It just reduces your buying power.
Right.
So they use your buying power to pay them. So if you've got $5,000 of margin, you've used $5,000, and they charge you $1,000 in interest, you've now got $6,000 of margin that you've used. That's how they charge you. They just take it from your buying power.
Okay.
So because you haven't got any cash, because you're borrowing money, they add it to your margin. So you were borrowing 5, but we're now charging you 1,000, so now you're borrowing 6.
Yeah, I think maybe I was misunderstanding. So in other words, I know I'm going to have enough money in there every month to cover my margin interest. I already know that. We talked about that. You gotta have that. I know I'm going to have. Let's say I'll just tell you my margin. I think's around, I don't know, $200 a month maybe. Okay, so my interest.
Yeah.
So I know I'm going to have $200 in there on the 15th when they need that. Okay, or I'm going to get a margin call. So I know they're going to take it. But let's say I know that 200 is going to be out on the 15th. I got it in there to cover my margin. What if I put another 800 in there? So there's going to be $1,000 sitting there on the day they debit that 200 for margins. Do they take any more than that's what I'm asking?
No.
Okay.
No.
That other 800 just would be sitting there.
Oh, yeah. They're just charging you daily. It's not like a car loan where you've got a payment to make. Don't think of it as a car loan. You never pay off, you never make payments like a car loan. You're just being charged daily, and they bill you every month for the interest. You paying it off is up to you. You can pay it off never. You can pay it all off in one day. You can pay it off whatever. Your margin is a rolling forever thing. It's just you to reduce it, use more of it, use less of it, whatever. But there's no, we're going to take some more money and reduce it. No. We're just going to charge you the interest. That's it. But if you've, like my buying power, because I'm buying everything. I'm putting everything I can in, right? My buying power is currently $1,200. That's my buying power today. That's all my cash gone. That's all the margin. That's all the buying power they've let me have left. So I've spent everything. I'm going to get about an $800 bill this month for my interest.
Right.
Because you're using margin, 800 is not enough. You probably need about 1600. You need normally double. Because remember how the doubling effect works. It's their money. So they're lending you money to pay their bill. So you've got to have more than that. Does that make sense? Otherwise, they're lending you money to pay them, right? So if you owe $800, you probably want $1,600 in your buying power, right? Well, I'm waiting for some money that to come in, and I'm going to try and jigger it about. But I wanted to make sure I bought today. But yeah, they only charge you the interest. So if you know it'll tell you your daily, and it'll tell you what's billed so far. And you can see every day it going up, so you know what it's going to be. So you know how much money roughly you need. Just double that. Okay. If it's 300, make sure you got 600, 700. Just be comfortable. If you don't, all that happens is it will say you've got to sort it out. And I did it live on the show. If you watch that margin video, you saw me do it. Yeah. Oh, you've spent too much money, because I used all the margin. I bought another share, and I just had to find a share that I had some from somewhere, and I just sold a bit of it just to make sure it was covered, and that was fine. That's all you got to do. So yeah.
Right. Now, I hope for your viewers it's very educational, because me calling in, because it has helped me. That was the thing about the margin that I think I didn't understand. It don't matter. I mean, I can cover the margin. I didn't get myself set up where I couldn't. But what's educational to me is, it's just a continue. They want to give you that money and just take that interest. They'll own it to you forever,
forever and ever and ever. Yeah. They don't take back the margin. They don't do anything. The only time they take back the margin is if you got a margin call because the stock went down 40%. You wasn't paying any attention, and they've got to start selling from underneath you. That's why you only you always make sure you got a big buffer. Now I've got still like nearly 40% from here. After everything's dropped, I've still got 40%. So I don't think for a minute I'm going to wake up tomorrow on a margin call if I at all. So I think I've lost you for a moment, but hopefully get you back. Leston Wynn, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you? Painful day, right?
It's just one of those things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You get good days, you get bad days.
Yeah.
I bought some more today, so what can say it's a good day.
How can I help you? What did you call in for particularly?
It was just more of you pretty much said everything. How you think everything is going to go, probably a lot further down. Be interesting to see if it actually does get resolved in the near future.
Yeah. I expect this weekend to be very busy for Mr. Trump, President Trump, and on Monday we'll get some clarification. This will move very quickly. He's going to be very, very busy. Oh, we got you back there, RB. Thank you. But yeah, it's a scary time for those who don't know what they're doing. It's a scary time for people who are using leverage, and it's a horrible, and especially if you're retiring and you need the money. It's awful. Someone just mentioned, and I just checked it, Shane Holder just said lucid green. Absolutely right. I told everybody, didn't I? What did I say? Lucid will outperform Tesla. Right again. I don't know how many. Are you adding these up? Alex? How many times I get this right? Anyway,
you got tired of counting.
I know. Yeah. Anyway, listen, guys.
It's been counting, but lost the count.
Yeah, Anyway, Leston Wynn, give me your final thoughts. I've got to wrap up today's show. I'm sorry you just called in at the end, but I've got to get off, and I've been going since 7 o'clock. It's 10:30 now. Any questions or final thoughts from anybody? Let me go to the comments. Has anybody got anything they'd like to ask? Let me have a quick look. AC, can I ask where I'm able to find the forward PE to ETFs like VU? Because it's only shown for individual stocks, but not ETFs. You calculate it. It's going to be quite difficult for me to explain it, how to calculate it, the earnings ratio. So what I suggest you do is go onto Google and type in how to calculate the forward PE. We were at 19.7. We're probably about 19.2 right now. But anyway, you can calculate calculate it. There's a way to calculate it. You might want to just go into Google and find the formula, and you can work it out. Or if you Google forward PE of the S&P 500, some paid sites will tell you that, do the calculation for you, and you can do that. Martyn, got to run, got to the house, get ready for putting on the market. Nice conversation this morning. See you later, Jim. You're very welcome. God bless you, Alex. I deployed 30% of my dry powder. Good luck to you. Tax lots. Samuel Redner, Alex, you are appreciated for all you're doing and monitor and being an important part of the family. Yes, he is. Don't say too much or get too big-headed. He's got lights, he's got special microphones, special screens. I mean, you know, he's got more gear than I have. When it comes to paying margin off Robin Hood, do they simply take the monthly cost from your buying power? Correct. Do I need to ensure I have the money in the buying power pride? Yes, double. So if you are, well, and that's with a 25% margin maintenance line. So if you're buying XYZ 100% maintenance line, you need more. But when you're buying something like me, 25% maintenance requirement, if I'm expecting a $500 interest payment, I need at least $1,000. Double it. And again, if you don't, you just put it on the day, or you sell on the day, or whatever. But yeah, you need to be aware. You don't want to be. You want to be proactive, not reactive. Oh my God, I've got to sell something today, and it's all down. You don't want to be in that position, do you? What am I buying in the US now? I have no intention of selling the next US election. Sorry, I got disconnected. I have to make an appointment. Thank you for letting me in. I hope I hope my questions help others as well. I'm sure they did. Please read your text. All right. Okay then. You did say please, so I will do it. You've sent me a text, have you? Jerry and Elba. Martyn. Okay, thank you very much indeed. I've got that text. I'll reply to you later. Which S&P 500 is the one to put in? Which? There are many. Thanks, Martyn Ninja Cowboy. Okay, let me give you the explanation of this, and then I'll wrap up the show. And just to make it look good, because I get like OCD, I'm going to put Lest in Win in spot number 9, because it's just doing my head in having two people sort of, on one side of the show. There you go. Right, you can't buy the S&P 500. You can't walk up to Wall Street and go, "Oi, you, Standard & Poor." You may remember them from the Big Short. Can I buy a bit of you? They'll go, "No, you can't, mate. We're a private business, but you can bugger off and find yourself an ETF." What's an ETF? An exchange traded fund. Oh, okay, then what's one of them? Well, there's lots. Go and do your Googling. Go and do your research. Or just phone Martin Lucas, he'll tell you. So there's several. There's quite a few ways to access the S&P 500. You've all heard of SPY, SPY. You've all heard of VOO. There are many others, but they're all essentially the same if they are on market cap. There are different versions of the S&P. There are average weight, or there are equal weight, or there are this or that, the other. But the pure S&P 500, the actual index that we're tracking, is by market cap, and that is the S&P 500.
Guilty Gunner donated $4.99 through a super chat. God's warning his children through the Holy Spirit. We are going to see the biggest stock market crash in history, and it will all happen fast. God bless. Latin cross emoji.
Okay, fair enough. You're entitled to your opinion. I appreciate your thoughts. There's no evidence to suggest we're going to have the biggest crash in history. When we had the Great Depression, when we had the dot-com crash, when we had the Second World War, the First World War, the property crash, all the rest of it. The numbers were on, which one?
COVID.
We
didn't even crash over there.
Well, COVID wasn't.
A big thing.
The numbers were on the wall. There was reasons behind it. Yes, Trump is doing all of this, but all of this can go away. It's not because no one's buying. It's not because inflation's through the roof. It's not because there's other issues and supply shortages and blah, 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 blah. It's got nothing to do with that. So I don't see any evidence, and the biggest crash in history would be about 50% from here. Still wouldn't get margin called if we did. So I'm still happy to invest. Wish you the best, but I don't see any evidence for that. You might as well be planning for a meteorite to smash into your house and we'll all be dead anyway. Well, I don't, I mean, how far do you want to go before you just not bother getting out of bed? Anyway, I forget what. Oh, yes. So the S&P. So how do you buy it? So if you want the actual S&P in its purest form of what the S&P index is, you want by market cap. And that is VOO, SPY, and a few others. Now, you can buy SPY or VOO. They're the two main ones. There are many others, but VOO and SPY are the most popular. And if you want liquidity, if you are a professional trader, and I'm talking about millions of trades a day, what Wall Street use, SPY, SPY, okay? But you'll notice that the price is slightly different because of the inception date. Don't be put off by that. It's not because one's more expensive than the other. They've both grown exactly the same over time. It's just the inception date. It was set up before, so it just has grown more than the other one. So the price of the actual stock, whether it's SPY or VOO, is the same. It's just started at different times. What you want to focus on is whether you are a trader, and you notice this all the time with SPY. It's got a lot more liquidity, and you'll see it move ahead of the VOO, and then VOO catch up with it 5 minutes later. We've all seen that happen, and I've said the way you can actually play that into your benefit. If you look at SPY. And Apple, because Apple's the biggest part of the S&P 500, right? If you look at Apple on an earnings call and Apple goes down 10%, and you'll notice SPY goes down as well, not 10% obviously, because it's not the whole of SPY, but you'll see the SPY move and you'll see VOO not move for about a minute. And then VOO will catch up because it has lower liquidity, designed primarily for long-term investors. Yes, traders as well, but not professional traders. And when I mean professional traders, I mean professional traders who trade millions of shares in a second, billions of dollars, and so on and so forth. I'm not on about you guys. None of us are professional traders to that extent, right? So you might like SPY because it moves quicker, so you can get the price you want at the time. But VOO will catch up with it in a minute, and it's also its strength. Because if you're lucky, and I've seen this and I've done this live on the show, I've actually shown you, I've done it in real life. I've seen, in fact, on the last earnings call, I did it. Do you remember Apple went down, SPY moved, VOO didn't. I said, guys, VOO is going to go down in the next minute. Now, does that mean it's like, wow, that's a really good trick, I get free money? No, you're not seeing into the future, right? Because even though VOO hasn't yet moved, visually, it's going up and down like that, but you're only seeing it sort of smoothed out because of the low liquidity. All right. So if you try to buy it, you'll end up noticing it's gone down. If you do a limit order because it's bouncing up and down, knowing it's going down, you might get benefit, and you do actually get a benefit. Doesn't work for any other stock. Doesn't work for like Apple. It only works with Apple. An Apple directive, I mean, an indicator, because it's so big part of the S&P. It works a little bit with NVIDIA. Again, it's high, but everything else lower than that, Google, Microsoft, going down the list. No, if those things move, it's not enough because they're like 1%, 0.5% of VOO. So you wouldn't actually see this. Someone's saying there's a news conference. What on?
Sky News UK, Martyn.
Yeah, Canadian Prime Minister. I'll cover this, but then I'll come back to which one you should choose.
Agreement that ended auto tariffs between our nations and began a 60-year period. You can guess my age. A 60-year period of close cooperation, partnership, job growth, and prosperity. And that era has now ended, unless the United States and Canada can agree on a new comprehensive approach. Yesterday's actions by the U.S. administration, while not specifically targeting Canada, will rupture the global economy and adversely affect global economic growth. The global economy is fundamentally different today than it was yesterday. The system of global trade anchored on the United States.
Now, I want to just let you know, this is Mark Carney. Mark Carney, very, very qualified to be Prime Minister. More qualified to be President than Donald Trump. Why? You talk about a good businessman. Mark Carney was the governor of the Bank of England. You want to know about accounts, money, Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada, was the governor of the Bank of England. This guy knows more about money and economics than Donald Trump will ever know. Just want to clarify that.
United States that Canada has relied on since the end of the Second World War, a system that, while not perfect, has helped to deliver prosperity for our country for decades, is over. Our old relationship of steadily deepening integration with the United States is over. The 80-year period when the United States embraced the mantle of global economic leadership, when it forged alliances rooted in trust and mutual respect, and championed the free and open exchange of goods and services, is over. Well, this is a tragedy. It is also the new reality. We must respond with both purpose and force. We are a free, sovereign, and ambitious country. We are masters in our own home. Nous sommes maîtres chez nous. Nous contrôlons notre destin.
There you go. That is Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister.
He's going to talk in French for a moment. We'll keep monitoring that. What we don't want is retaliatory. This is what Donald Trump is banking on, that other countries are just going to roll over and take it. He's delivered that now. We've now gone on to a new part. So let me finish this discussion with Vu. We don't want retaliatory. If we get retaliatory, we've got a trade war. We've got a trade war, we're down 30, 40%, and it will be one of the biggest crashes in history if we get retaliatory. I don't think we will. As I said at the beginning of the show today, I think most of these things will be negotiated away because, remember, we are the consumers in America. It serves no interest for everybody else to whack up their deals in protest to America. They want to come back and say, okay, you take your tariff away, we'll take ours away. That is a good thing for everyone, mainly America, of course, but better for them than just going to war. If we all go to war with each other, holy hell, I'm not talking about a physical war, I'm on about a trade war. A global trade war, that would be something else. So let me come back to, I just need to finish this up. So the S&P 500. So you decide you want to buy S&P 500. If you buy SPY, it's 0.09, 3 times as expensive as VU, 0.03 expense ratio. And the reason why it's got a higher expense ratio is because it has to organize the higher volume. It has to pay for that. So if you are a trader or an investor, just regular retail like me, VU is no doubt is the way to go. Doesn't matter whether you buy the S&P, VU or SPY, you're supporting the American economy. You're not benefiting anyone over anything else. When you put money into the index, it gets spent buying those shares. The company, the ETF fund owns those shares, and that's what you just simply do. You end up buying Tesla, not Virgin Galactic, Tesla, Microsoft, Google, whatever, the allocations. The allocations are the same. So to me, it's a no-brainer. The answer is VU. There are others to choose from. They're all pretty much the same, but VU is my choice, and I've looked at all, and there are others that will be more tech-weighted, but then you like JEPQ, but then you're going down the line of the NASDAQ, you're getting more techy. I like the balance of the S&P 500 in its purest form, capital by market cap. That's why I choose VU. I hope that answers your question. All right. I'm working. I just caught it on the cafe television. Thank you, Jerry. Oh, look at real leader. Harvard grad versus Trump. Yeah. I mean, Mark Carney, he's a proper money man. Yeah. Not a businessman, a money man, accountant, the different levels of education is completely different. Get ready. Canada is going to retaliate, but in a smart way. Reaction from leader of the EU had, and we want to negotiate this stand, but if not, EU will come with a response. They're going to negotiate. They have to negotiate. Trump has to give this up. He has to give it up because America can't build everything in America. It's not possible. You can't replace all these industries overnight. It would take decades and America would go bankrupt. Remember, Americans are going to have to pay for this right now. in the short term anyway. So they just wouldn't stomach it. The moment all the prices go through the roof, Americans who love Trump are going to go, hang on a minute, I've had enough of this. This is getting ridiculous. So don't think that this is going to just, end up in a trade war, because that would be suicide. Everybody would be losing everything. No, there'd be no winners. It'd be like a nuclear war. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Final thoughts, gentlemen. Final thoughts. Alex, please. I've got to get this finished up.
I'll be short, Martin. As you know, I just put all my money. My plan is to move to Australia, so all my money goes into investments right now. So I'm risking my future. Other people have risked their pensions and everything. So I believe we're kind of in the same boat. I don't know what to think right now, because Europe knows that without America they can't do a lot. Trump has to realize that without Europe he can't do as many as he thinks that he can. So I'm hoping for a negotiation and not retaliation. So I hope Trump doesn't go like, oh, okay, we listen to now Canada, another % up. So I don't want to see that.
No. If we get a trade war, it ends badly. Alex, thanks for calling in. I'll see you back for the closing bell. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you, Martin.
Thank you. There you go. Alex called in today, and Leston, when he just said we lost. Thank you, Leah. He just said we just lost his camera, his Wi-Fi. That's understandable. We understand how that goes. Right, folks. Going to let you all go. We are showing the restream. So if you've missed the show, you can catch it from the beginning. People joining in at the end, you missed some big stuff today. The market is rebounding at the moment. Let's hope we go up from here. But I'm now going to... How many people are watching me right now? Wow, 336. I cannot believe the numbers. This is such an honor to have so many people tune in with me every day. I can't thank you enough. Let's have a look. We've had 5,500 people tune in today. 39,000 over the last 48 hours, 75,000 and 59. Thank you so much indeed. We're now going to go over to the extra channel. This is where we're live 24/7. If you want 24 hours 7 support, live chat from the members, no bots, no trolls, no scammers, we're live here. Let me first of all end the poll. End the poll. There you go. Red, 73%. There you go. Extra, join me now. Let me give you the link right now. I'll put it in the chat here. Daisy. Join me now live on Extra. Okay. Pin that to the top. There you go. Now, the purpose of this is we're going to replay the stream we've just put out. Many of you joined halfway through. We've got people joining in from around the world at different times. So this stream will be replayed from the beginning, and you can join in. But what makes it special is the chat is live. So you are talking to each other, asking questions, supporting each other, talking to me directly in the studio, asking me questions. I can see what's going on. You can alert me to updates, and I can come back and report on things that are of interest to you, answer questions. I see all the chat here. Our team are in there moderating as well. So we're going to go there now, and I'll be back for the closing bell, and the videos will come out. But this keeps everyone together, keeps everyone engaged. You're going to restream because people from other parts of the world are waking up and going to bed and all the rest of it. And you can see that and talk to those people as they tune in. So let me just go over to general public just for the moment and click redirect. Here is the stream that's running there now. There you go. I've given you the link in the chat. Please join me on Extra. But before we end, we've got Day Trader of the Day, of course. Let me drop that in the link here. There is the link. And let's see who has won and lost today. Look how much money I've lost today. Can you believe it? So let's go here. Down 9.61. There you go. Let's roll the credits. Let's see who wins today. Let's go. Here we go. Roll the credits. Stars of our show today. Stars of our show. New subscribers. We've got Iceman SA1, Josh, Lant, Pascal, EY, Tyler, B. Adams, Christopher, Sahil, Matteo, Mark. Members, new members, Dave Hensley and John. I think they were celebrating their memberships. Super Chats, Kent Paranormal, Rala1, Paul J, Daniel Spence, Daniel Campbell, 107 Billion, Josh Monroe, Jerry and Elba and Guilty Gunner. Thank you for all your support on the show, keeping it live. Thank you so much indeed. Thanks for everything, Martyn. We're with you all the way. Thank you, David. We're all together. We're all investors, real investors. Jeffrey Diamond is up 11%. Is that your overall portfolio? Well, of course it is. You're a 1 year long-time member. You know the rules. Wow, is anybody up today? Incredible stuff. Josh Monroe, is that up or down? Well, I tell you what, I know who the winner's going to be. No one's going to be up 11%, surely. Up 11%? How are you up 11%? What magic stock do you own? Down 8.86. Incredible stuff. Alex is down 10.33. I'm going to announce the winner any second now. No one's going to beat that. All options. Wow. There you go. Down today. Remember, it's not where you are today, it's where you are in 10 years. That's what it's all about. Down 2.74. I have a good authority. Trump is initially crashing the stock market to force the Fed to lower interest rates. I have it on good authority. Yes, okay. Well, I actually speak to people directly from the White House press room. So, yeah, okay. Down 16,000. Buying and reselling options down 5%. All right, the winner, without doubt today. Congratulations, Jeffrey Diamond. That is amazing. Fantastic. Well done to you. I cannot believe it. Let me give you my final thoughts. Shadooby-dooby, shadooby-doo-up. Wow. Oh, yeah. There you go. Congratulations. Jeffrey Diamond, what a score that was. Well, folks, keep it all going. Around the world, we've got people now waking up in different parts of the world. Join me on the Extra channel. They'll be watching me live. We're going to replay this today's show from the beginning. So if you've missed it, you can see it live. You can chat live with your fellow investors rather than just watching the video on your own. You'll be in the live chat. You can talk to me live in the studio. Let me know what's going on. I can come back on if there's some big thing. Let you know about premieres. Let you know about news. I can alert you. Keep it running in the background. You can mute it if you want to, but keep it running in the background so you can see if I've alerted you of any breaking news, breaking stories. You're talking directly here with me in the studio. You can see me in the studio. This is my live camera as I'm working here. You can see what I'm doing. You can talk to me. We're going to watch a restream right now. Join me now on the Extra channel and keep the family together as everybody from different parts of the world wakes up and joins in at different parts. That's it from me. My final thoughts, guys. It's exactly as we said it would be. There's no surprise. Be careful. Understand what you own. If it's too hot, you shouldn't be in the kitchen. But that doesn't mean to say sell out at a loss. Be careful. Know what you own. And I wish everyone the very, very best. I'll see you live now on the Extra channel. I will see you back for the closing bell. Until then, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.